All right, welcome in everybody for everybody tuning into the live stream. It is so good to have you in here with us today. For the very first 1.4 thousand people tuning into the live stream, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen for me, y'all. It is super duper good to have every single one of you guys in here with us today. Phenomenal. Everyone, just do give us a minute. I am loading up my second account so I could view the chat from my phone. Add and remove guests. Y'all already know. There we are for the very first 2.5 thousand of y'all. Welcome in. It is so good to have you in here with us today. And everybody in the chat, welcome in as well. The last 12 or so hours have been absolute turmoil for me, y'all. Do not even get me started on how crazy the last 24 hours have been. But anyways, for everybody tuning in, y'all, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 100,000 likes. Also, make sure that we're sharing out this live. But I want to talk to you guys about this real quick, okay? So we started talking about this yesterday before we ended the stream, and so much has happened in the last 12 hours. So if any of you guys know about that crazy man that came up here and said that parents have the legal right to essentially exploit their children. And then I reacted to that by basically saying, okay, this guy needs to be reported to CPS. Feel free to find his public information and take it to the local CPS authorities. Well, the right was able to get a hold of that, take it to Twitter, and now all of a sudden, apparently, everybody thinks I think children can consent to sex. Everybody thinks I'm a P3DO. I mean, I've seen tweets with like 5K likes just calling me an absolute psychopath. I woke up today to over 500 death threats in my inbox. I'm not even joking. That's not an exaggeration. That's not an overstatement. That is the amount of death threats that I woke up to this morning from people on the right. Absolutely insane. Okay, absolutely crazy. So first and foremost, I will admit I did overreact. I shouldn't have directed my community to collect public information and take it to CBS. That was a wrong reaction. I dropped the ball. There's about a billion better things I could have done in that situation. I'll acknowledge that. Okay, but that man, I actually just had a conversation with him and his wife on another live stream, and let me tell you how that conversation went. So the husband reaffirmed that he thought that parents are within their legal rights to essentially exploit their children. He did say he'd never do it himself, though. He said he'd never do it in a billion years. As well as he said, quote unquote, in relation to Trump looking at naked 13-year-olds while they were changing, he said, quote unquote, this is coming from his mouth, quote unquote, at the end of the day, he was not breaking the law, so I can't fault him for that. Okay? And so this was on a larger panel discussion with a handful of other people as well. They said that CP, child CSAM, CSAM, is not CP, it's art. We were talking about a picture of a 15-year-old without a shirt on, covering their chest that was in Times Square in the 70s. I said, that's CP. They said, no, it's art. Yeah. And so the wife of the husband that I was talking to in that clip, they said that the bodies of these girls, of these underage girls, were transactional because he furthered their career. So that's the takeaway. That's the takeaway. I will agree that I took it too far, and there's about a billion better things that I could have done. I won't even say I took it too far. I'll say there's a billion better things I could have done. I said that there's about a billion better things that I could have done than directing the people that were watching the live to get in contact with local CBS. Billion better things I could have done. Billion better things I could have done. But those people are evil. Absolutely evil. And now the right has contorted this into me being a P3DO. The right has contorted this into me being somebody that thinks children can consent. Absolutely insane. No, it's been a little bit rough seeing all these death threats in my inbox. Every single one. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But we are going to go ahead and hop onto the debates for the day. I just wanted to talk about that because it is crazy. Okay? Those people are evil. Let's go to get that very first guest up here. If you are watching the live and you do support Trump and you would like to come up and have a conversation with me, let me know down below in that comment section. We'll get you loaded up here. We're going to go to get that first guest, Landon, loaded up in right now. As well as Karsten, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. They say, sorry for the headache you must have woken up with all that going on. Have a good stream. Yeah, it was quite the headache. Appreciate you for the $10, Karsten, as well as Taryn with the $5 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much for the love. And I have seen some clips from the Black Sabbath show I have. But all right, everybody, let's go to load that very first guest up. If you are in that queue, make sure that you're an American adult, that you support Trump, because we are just looking for some debates. Everybody just be patient while we get that very first guest up in here. We're going to go and load in AJ Talks Politics. Here we go, everybody. What's going on, AJ? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Phenomenal. Let me go and get that stream started over on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind just giving me a moment, that would be sweet. For everybody watching, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen, everybody. We're going to go get that live started over on YouTube right now. Before we hop into this first debate with AJ, here we go, y'all. We're starting the stream, quite frankly. Hello and welcome into everybody tuning in on YouTube. It is so good to have you in here with us today. Thank you so much for giving me some of the time of your day. As per usual, we're going to be debating some Trump supporters about why the hell they support Trump. We already have our very first guest, AJ, loaded into the stream, man. If you'd like to take it away and tell us why you support the Orange Menace, that would be great. Go for it.
If you want to talk about the big, beautiful bill in specifics, I would be down to talk about that.
So you support Trump because of the BBB? Hey, thank you so much for... Sorry, this is from the YouTube stream. Go ahead.
I mean, that's something that we could talk about.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to find your motivations insofar as why you support Trump. Do you support Trump because of the BBB?
No, I mostly support him because of economic policies as well as his stance on immigration.
Stance on immigration. What about his stance on immigration do you support?
Well, I'm an OG, 2016 Trump supporter, so, he's kind of backtracked, I think. I mean, you probably heard about him talking about mass amnesty to farm workers.
Oh, well, don't worry. He repealed that one. But that would have been great if he actually did that. That would have made our country significantly
I didn't hear anything
better.
about that.
Yeah, no, he walked that back.
I know the Borders Czar came out today, and he was like, we need 7,000 arrests today, but I didn't hear anything about Trump repealing what he said.
This happened a while ago. Yeah, they pulled back not deporting farm workers or...
Well, no, but he said this in Idaho on July 3rd, right before the...
Oh, really?
Passed. Yeah.
Hey, man, yo, thank you so much for telling me that. That's great. I really hope that he goes through that. That's awesome.
Oh, I think it's terrible, personally.
Oh, man, why?
I mean, it's part of the culture war.
Oh, the culture war. Oh, the culture war. Okay. Do you think that the culture of this country would be better off if the average American citizen was happier with more money in their bank account?
I mean, it depends, because it's less about what is happiness to you?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, would the culture of this country be better off if the average citizen had a higher quality of life with more money in their bank account because the economy's doing better? See, that's a that's the thing about mass deportation is it is so bad for the American economy. I mean, seriously, projected potential trillions of dollars off the GDP per year. I mean, think about the impacts that'll have on our poverty levels. I mean, poverty goes up, so does crime. Are you saying that the culture of this country needs more crime?
No, I mean, that's exactly why I'm for mass deportations.
Well, mass deportation causes more crime.
We've seen cities that have started mass deportations that the crime rates have lowered.
Like which ones?
You go look at Chicago. You go look at California.
Okay, and then how do you know? So in what time frame have their crime rates lowered? Because, I mean, if we want to talk about crime rates per capita, they actually go up with a mass deportation because undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to commit crimes.
We got to look at specific cities, because
even in specific cities, of course, we'd expect their crime rates to go up.
They're literally rioting in the streets.
We would expect the crime rates of these cities to go up with mass deportation because undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to commit all crimes compared to citizens.
Okay, but would you agree that
the crime rate per capita will go up without any material change outside of the removal of the undocumented immigrants?
Well, would Lincoln Riley still be alive if there were no illegal immigrants?
Yeah, so would Molly Tibbetts. But this isn't addressing what I just said, because you said that the crime rates in these cities...
No, but I'm saying, but my point is that, per capita would
Your
increase
point was that the
because
crime rates would go
yeah,
up would go down with
well,
mass deportation.
well, the total amount of crime would go down, but not per capita because per capita includes every citizen. It's kind of
Great.
the average.
So now you've now
So
shifted your claim, and that's fine. So your first
no,
claim.
my claim is that overall crime would go down, which is true because we'll have less people, so
Okay, so
it would
that's
go
not.
down.
So that wasn't your original claim. It's fine if you shift it. Your original claim was that undocumented immigrants and removing undocumented immigrants from this country would increase crime rates, not the total amount of crime. That was your original claim, and no way to work around it. So now that we can understand that your original claim is false, let's now move on to your second claim here, that the total amount of crimes will go down. I also do not believe that the total amount of crimes will go down either. The reason why I do not believe that is because mass deportation is incredibly detrimental for the economy. Okay, and because mass deportation is so detrimental for the economy, because the Center for American Progress tells us that we could expect to see 1.1 trill through 1.7 trill excommunicated from our GDP, because our productivities would go down, our manufacturers would be weak, and our consumer base would be crippled, we could expect a significantly weaker economy. And with a significantly weaker economy comes higher levels of poverty. And what is a lot of crime? A material result of poverty. So with more poverty, we'd see more crime.
I would agree with you to an extent that our economy would be worse off without undocumented immigrants. I agree with you with that, but that doesn't fix that the fact that our culture is shifting from what it used to be and what made this country so great.
Oh, so it's a culture issue. So what is the culture? What
It is.
was the culture, and what is the culture shifting to with the introduction of immigration?
Well, I mean, we were like a 90% white Christian nation back in 1990, and now we're 58% white and
So you just want so would
less
you
than half
do you think
Christian.
that like this country should be a white country?
No,
Well, that's what you just described. You're saying that
no,
the
I think that
detriment
it should be. I think
of immigration into this country is less white people.
no, I think that it should be a Christian country, not because with like different religions,
So
different.
was saying that 90% white, was that just a Freudian slip?
Well, that was kind of just an example of how the culture shifted, how much it shifted.
Well,
I don't
when
necessarily
you say
care
you don't, so like the amount of white
because
people
there's
doesn't denote a culture. That
well,
denotes like a racial demographic. So you're saying that the racial demographic of the country has shifted.
well, would you say white culture is different from, let's say, African American culture, or
What is white culture?
what you're holding right now, your phone, the language that we are talking, everything around you, the house that you've been built,
Wait,
this whole fucking
my
country
house
is
is
white
my
culture.
house is white culture?
Yes, the architecture from your house is white culture.
Okay, explain that one to me.
Architecture? I mean, you
What
could
about
look
the
at
architecture
Europe.
of my house is white culture?
Well, who was the? I mean, I guess you can look at who was the first. Like, who were the first people to create houses in the U.S.?
First people to create houses
Like
in the
instead of
U.S. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like a lot of the houses that we saw pop up in early American history were built by enslaved African Americans.
No. But I'm not talking about built. I'm talking about the architecture. So the ideas, the
Or the first houses
engineering.
in this country, not even like enslaved black people. That would be from indigenous people, Native Americans.
I'm talking about from settlers, and the well, I mean, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about teepees or like mud huts. I'm
So
talking
what
about
do
the type
you?
of
So can
houses.
you
Like, well, do you
define?
live in an apartment?
Can you define culture?
A set of ideas as well as innovations by a certain group of people, I guess.
Do you think that America would be better if there's more white people in it?
No, because it's not necessarily the race that's the issue with the culture war. It's that we're moving away from Christian beliefs, Christian morals, stuff like that.
So I have a question. What race was Jesus?
White. I mean, he was born Middle Eastern. You can say that,
Yeah,
but
let me get. Oh, so
just so you know, I'm
obviously,
agnostic. I'm not Christian.
obviously, Jesus was white. Now, one may say, well, he was born in the Middle East. How can a white person be born in Palestine 4,000 years ago? Are you saying that it have to be a miracle? Oh, yeah, God does those. Is that the argument?
I've seen that TikTok, bro. That's so funny.
Oh, it's yeah. So is that the argument?
No, I'm not.
No,
Well,
no. I
first
mean,
of all,
so
I'm
I think
agnostic.
it's kind of nuts to assume that Jesus was white. Why do you think Jesus was white?
Once again, I'm agnostic. I'm not Christian. So
I don't understand the claim that you're agnostic and you're not Christian relates to me asking you why you think Jesus was white after you said Jesus was white. I think that only like further complicates your view because you said we should be a Christian country. But we'll
Well,
talk about that next. First, I'm focused on you said I asked you what race Jesus was. You said that Jesus was white. Why do you think Jesus was white?
Well, then I guess I'm not the right person to be asked that question.
So you just
I
kind of like
understand that he
assume
was
it. You're
born in
like,
Palestine.
he was white.
Yeah, I guess I've just gone around with what people have said. I don't
People
really.
say that in America because of like whitewashing and racism, not because he actually was.
What is racism?
We could have a discussion about what racism is after we finish out our conversation about why people in America think that Jesus is white. I'm not going to allow you that deflection.
Okay. Well, I told you I'm not the right person to talk about this because I'm not Christian myself.
Okay,
I haven't been to church in a
if
long
you're not
time.
Christian, why do you think we should live in a Christian country?
Because I think that Christians have better moral standing than atheists, and I think that the change in our culture.
So that's a false dichotomy. So Christianity would be a standard of morality, like the moral truths derivative of the Bible. But atheism doesn't encapsulate like a moral standard, right? Atheism just simply denotes the denial of theism.
Issue. That's the issue. Is there's no like standard of morality with atheism.
I feel like you're Islamophobic. Do you think that Muslims have a better
Islamophobic? How did you bring in?
I feel, it's just a feeling so far. Do you feel like Muslims have a better moral standing than secular atheists?
I haven't done enough research into that. I know that
you obviously haven't done enough research into Christianity either. You thought Jesus was white.
No, I haven't.
All right. And then you said that your one reason why you thought that Christians had a better moral standard than atheists was because they have a moral standard. Atheism is not on its own a moral standard. So that same reason would apply when contrasting Islam to atheism.
The problem with atheism is who's going to set the moral standard.
Who's going to set the moral standard? So you basically take a problem with the denial of moral realism, saying that like morals are objective. Well, the issue here is you affirm that you're not actually Christian and that you're agnostic. So what this means is that you don't truly think that Christianity would encapsulate some version of moral realism. You don't truly think that when a Christian says murder is wrong because the Bible says so, you don't think that's an objective moral claim.
Well, my issue with Christianity is not something in that like realm. It's something different. And
so why do you think we should be a Christian country?
Once again, because they have a better moral standard than I would say that having something like the Bible to set your morality off of is something that's going to be for the better good of the entire society.
Can't we agree that under secularism we could agree to like a set base of principles in which a rational mind would derive like moral facts regardless if they're objective or subjective? And we could run a society in a secular sense similar to that. I mean, I think that would be the point of a secular government, would be to come to a conclusion of a set of moral principles in which they all find to be the case, predicated on rationality, not predicated on reading a book. I would say that we could actually discover better moral truths in a secular society with a secular government because we'd use reason, fact, and logic to determine what is good and bad, right? Not the text written by man 4,000 years ago, right? Like, I think that there's many ways that, like, the Christian Bible, morally speaking, could hold us back. Like, one very predominant one would be, like the denial of the moral permissibility of gay relationships. Maybe another way would be how in Leviticus in the Old Testament, God says slavery is okay, and this was used by early white Americans to justify slavery. So obviously, if we could deny these facts and say that they are not true and that we shouldn't operate our society off of them, this is how we're going to introduce secularism into society, where we use like reason, fact, and logic to determine moral truths instead of the text of a book and the interpretation of said text of said book to like promote whatever we want and say you should accept it because God says so.
I would agree with you to a certain extent. I think that morals have, I guess, shifted. We obviously, you personally, or your party, I guess, is still today, like, I guess, fighting for slavery to a certain extent. Would you not agree?
I disagree. I mean, I definitely don't fight for slavery. Is the
I mean,
argument
there
going to
are
be like the labor of undocumented immigrants?
exactly.
Right. Well, so did you know that there's two responses I'm going to give you to this? I'll start off with the second response. The second response would be that I support mass amnesty, meaning that I think undocumented immigrants should be offered a pathway to citizenship or residency, so they have more bargaining power to use against their employer to garner higher wages. So I actually do think that the conditions that undocumented immigrants live in allow for easier exploitation on behalf of their employer to the employee via the relationship and the fact that the undocumented immigrant is not a citizen or a resident. Okay, but I want to go to the first response now, because if you do think the wages that undocumented immigrants garner would amount to slavery, well, the same legal protections that apply to citizens or residents also apply to undocumented immigrants, meaning that they make, right, at least minimum wage. Legally speaking, that's the standard. That would be what more institutional Democrats advocate for. And if you think that working for minimum wage is synonymous to slave labor, well, then would you say that the GOP, the Republicans, and even Donald Trump's own administration have been defending slavery since 2008, since they have been against any push to increase the federal minimum wage?
Well, all right. Well, let me go over what you were talking about was with immigrant labor. Well, you've known that the Republican Party for the last like 20 to 30 years, since like the 1990s, has been a mass amnesty party. They've been looking because
Obviously not Trump. And then the one thing you said when
No,
you joined was that you
well, that was the
disagreed with
shift.
the amnesty of
Yeah, no,
farm workers.
that was the shift. That was the shift. But if you look at who is profiting off of this illegal immigrant labor or even immigrant labor, you can see that the big corporations that line the pockets of both parties are the ones that benefit from this labor. So I don't understand how you can sit here and be like,
So then we'd say the party
Demo-
that is less pro big corporation and for increasing the federal minimum wage would be less for quote unquote slavery under your view. Well, the Republicans are more are corporate shills to a higher extent and haven't wanted to increase the federal minimum wage. Like seriously, respond to that, because you said working for minimum wage is synonymous to slave labor. I mean, we've even
Well, no,
had
no,
Donald
no.
Trump's own administration say that they do not want to increase federal minimum wage. So does this mean that you think that the Trump administration stands for something that is essentially slave labor?
Well, no. So I'm actually an economics major. But the
Okay.
the minimum wage thing will never be settled because neither parties are going to raise it. You got to understand that. I mean, Democrats. There's
Last time it
Democrats
was
that
raised
sit
was
there
by
and
a
talk about it
Democrat.
before. What?
The last time it was raised was by a Democrat.
I agree, but I'm saying that they're not gonna raise it anymore.
Okay.
One reason why is because that the big corporations, the ones that lobby for these people, these politicians, are the ones that are directly using the minimum wage against their workers.
Okay, can you answer my question though? So you're just implying that this is a uniparty issue. Would you say a uniparty issue that we have in America today would be one where they both stand for slave labor?
Are you saying that they're both standing for slave labor? And I would agree with you to
I'm
a
saying
certain
this is like an
extent.
internal critique of your view. Would you say this, given your view, that like
Well,
Trump and the Democrats apparently both like slave labor?
well, I think this is a great time now to kind of say that I'm not MAGA, but I am a conservative because Parker always kicked me off like 3 times after I said I'm not MAGA, but I am conservative. So I
I
critique
know you're a
Donald
little bit
Trump.
further right than MAGA, right?
No, I'm not further right. I'm further
Okay.
right in maybe some issues, I guess you could say
I
immigration,
don't
but
know. I
not
don't
on
know
other
about
ones.
that. I mean, so far
Not
you've
on
told us that
basic
you missed
laws.
when this country was a white Christian country. You've
I
told
didn't.
us.
I didn't even live then. I wasn't alive then.
Okay,
So
that doesn't change what you said. You told me and everybody else listening that the issue with the change in the shift of the culture in America was that in the 90s, 90% of Americans were white, and now only 56% of Americans were white.
is
Are
that
white.
not true?
I don't think it is true that that's an issue.
You don't think that a shifting culture is an issue for what
I
America
don't
was?
think a shift in a racial demographic from 90% white people to 56% white people is an issue at all. Like, what reasons do you have to try to convince me that that's a problem?
Well, I mean, I guess diversity never works in the first place. That's something that we can all agree on. Diversity doesn't work.
Diversity
Cultures
never
don't shift.
diversity never
Cultures don't
works.
cultures don't merge. Cultures don't
merge.
assimilate to each other.
Diversity doesn't
That's
work.
what
Yeah.
it doesn't.
So why do you think in cities with more diversity, we see more individuals that are willing to engage in community projects? We see more individuals that are engaged and willing to advocate for better social reform for the constituents of said cities. I mean, we see higher GDP per capitas. Overwhelmingly, we see people
Well, you're
perform better in more diverse areas. And the reason that it is the case that we see this is because like an introduction of anti-diversity ideas, basically saying that we need to limit the amount of diversity that serves not only as incredibly like a moral statement, but also practically speaking, it's bad for the economy. Because it's just an unnecessary regulation on the economy, maybe in the labor force and the consumer base and in the producer base, that produces less efficient outcomes because you're no longer operating at market equilibrium dictated by the free market, but you're rather forcing the market to be what you want by forcing less diversity.
Well, I mean, you brought up GDP per capita. That's not a correct statistic to use in this situation because a
So
lot
why
of
do you think that diversity doesn't work?
Oh, why doesn't it work? I mean, you could look at LA. You can look at New York right now. I mean, we literally have Arabs
you'd
that are
say-
worshiping on the street. We have
So
rampant homelessness.
there's Arab individuals that pray in accordance with norms of Islam, and that's wrong. Why? Like you're never going to talk about like for instance the Mormons going door to door. If you want to talk about invasiveness of religion, I don't think that a follower of Islam praying in accordance with the dictation of the Quran is going to be more invasive than Mormons coming to your door and wanting to talk to you about Joseph Smith for an hour, or Jehovah's Witnesses standing at every street corner on Sundays and Mondays, giving you their free Bible and trying to get you to be a member of their cult.
Well,
And in fact, I bet something that you'd say you liked about America in the 1950s was a Christian church on every street. So now you're telling us that people praying on every street apparently is a big issue, as long as it's not Christianity, even though you're not even a Christian.
well, first of all, are we going to ignore the fact that 20 years ago, or a little over 20 years ago, those same Arabs literally bombed the city that they're now praying in?
Those same Arab individuals bomb the city that they're praying in. I
Radical
cannot
Islamists.
stand for this absolute terrible fucking rhetoric. That statement is unequivocally fucking false. Unequivocally false. You just told us that it was the same Muslims that did 9/11 that are now praying in New York City. And I mean, you'd probably say this about Zohran Mamdani. Let's evaluate your logic. Okay.
Well, no, I like it.
Let's evaluate your logic. Okay. Well, it's the same white Christians that killed 186 people in the Oklahoma bombing that are now sitting in the Oval Office. We need to impeach Trump because he's a white Christian, and white Christians killed 186 people in the Oklahoma bombing. Does that logic make any sense to you?
Well, hold on. I wasn't specifically referring to the United States. I don't think they should be kicked out of the United States. But the fact that we're having so many radical Islamists move into these large cities due to Joe Biden's policies, you can't forget that.
We don't. What do you mean when you say like radical Islamists? I'm guessing that you mean like some like Islamic fundamentalists that holds to the Sharia law, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's just so like hey, like this just isn't fucking true. Like point number one.
Do you think Sharia law is oppressive towards
point
women?
number one. Of course, I think it's oppressive towards women. Like the same way I think all fundamentalist groups of all major religions is going to be oppressive towards women. So it's like when you come up here and you tell me that there's an increase in these radical Muslims that hold to Sharia law in America. No, you have to understand that the reason we've seen immigration from countries that do implement Sharia law and do hold to like rather insane like fundamentalist takes of Islam is to escape that. Okay, you understand that? And then additionally, don't act like this issue is mutually exclusive to some fundamentalist sects of Islam. This is true of all religions of all time. We also see fundamentalist groups that are true of Christianity in America today and across the globe. I mean, we also see radical Christians that'll come out and say, very similar to the Groypers, that Jesus was white and Christianity truly does protect this Aryan race and we need to look out for white people. And Christianity tells white people that they're better than non-white people, right? I mean, we see these fundamentalist groups in all major religions. And I'll tell you, I detest them all, every single one of them, all right? But for you to act like there's this special issue with radical Muslims, fundamentalist Muslims in America today is just simply not true, because the immigration that we have seen of Muslims into this country, for the most part, has been to escape Islamic fundamentalism. But you want to know where Christian fundamentalism breeds? The breeding ground is in America.
Well, Christians aren't breeding. That's one of the issues, is that Muslims are having children at like 4 times the rate than Christians are. We're going to be overpopulated very soon, and then our
Wait, I have a
religion.
question. Why should this be a problem to you, considering you're not even a Christian? Right? You're not even a Christian. Why haven't you been talking about the rapid spread of Christianity in America from 2,000 years ago until now? But then as soon as we see that Islam will be the largest religion in the world by 2048, then that's the issue. And you're not even a Christian.
Because do you not listen to me? Because I think that Christianity has a different moral guideline than Muslim or Islamic. Sorry, hold on one second.
Than Islam. And now you're saying that Christianity has a different moral guideline than Islam.
Well, I mean, they literally practice Sharia law.
So I think that only an equivocation could make that true. I think that there's going to be some Christians, or a lot of Christians, that have this genuine sense of faith in their Creator and believe in this Creator to generate a higher quality of life for them, that genuinely do try to do good for them and those around them, that want to live a happy life with the idea of going to heaven once they die. The same way that there's a bunch of Muslims that want to use their religion of Islam to generate a higher quality of life for them. Give them hope as a symbol of peace and love instead of a weapon of hate. And in the same way, there's some fundamentalist Muslims where that's not true, incredibly oppressive towards women, incredibly oppressive towards gay people, incredibly oppressive towards a lot of groups of people that is incredibly flawed and is just incredibly wrong. We also see those fundamentalist groups of the Christian religion that are incredibly oppressive towards women, incredibly oppressive towards gay people, incredibly oppressive towards minorities. And keep in mind, these two religions are worshiping the same Abrahamic God. But if you want to equivocate here, what you'll say is, well, when we look at Islam, well, their prophet married a 9-year-old. The Quran says that slavery is okay. Yeah, dude, I agree. Their prophet did marry a 9-year-old, and the Quran does say that slavery is okay. That's fucking gross. It's insane. But guess what? If we want to now use that same scope on Christianity, well, according to Christian and secular scholars, Mary was 13 when she was impregnated in accordance with the gospel. It says that slavery is okay in Leviticus 25. And then in 1 Samuel 14:3, God literally commands a genocide. And that's also gross.
Well, that's
so see, my
that's in the
take
Old Testament. That's
is we could look at very particular parts of both the Quran, Prophet Muhammad, and the Christian Bible, Jesus Christ, the story of Mary and Joseph, and we could look and we could say that this is really, really bad. Okay, but what is true of the average Christian today and the average Muslim today is there's ways to either ignore these verses, like for instance, there's a lot of Muslims on the global stage that will say that they operated off of a different calendar when Aisha was alive with Prophet Muhammad, meaning that she was 9, not 19. In the same way, we'll see Christians say, well, at the time God said that slavery is okay. He was just unhardening their hearts, giving them a dictation towards better truths, and he wasn't telling them that slavery was okay. And we'll see these interpretations that will lend to good people holding to these beliefs to generate a better life for them and those around them. Okay, and this is true of both most Muslims and most Christians.
So you're saying that they are. Wait, you're saying that they're gonna ignore part of like the negative parts of their religion, and that's why you think it's okay?
So this is what Christians do too.
That they ignore. Well, I
But
agree
see,
with you.
I'm for secular. I'm for secular
So
multicultural
you're
democracies. See, I'm for secularism. I think that secularism is the light. But I'm saying when we
all right.
evaluate followers of the Abrahamic religions, we see that all Abrahamic religions, regardless if it's Judaism, Christianity, or Islam, have major issues that I don't like. But still, yet there's a lot of individuals that are Jewish, a lot of individuals that are Christian, and a lot of individuals that are Muslim that are able to hold on to views of these religions in which they're able to implement and give them a good quality of life for themselves and for those around them. But ultimately, I'm going to defend a secular multicultural democracy.
So would you support like the banning, I guess, of Sharia law so that we don't have these women oppressed while they're in America?
When you say banning of Sharia law, do you just mean ensuring gender equality? And if you mean
Yeah.
ensuring gender equality would ban Sharia law, it seems like this would also ban Christian fundamentalism and a lot of Paul's writings as well, where he says that women can't be leaders.
Well, no. I'm trying to understand like what you would do with, I guess, the situation in New York and other sanctuary cities.
Advocating for legislation and reform to ensure gender equality, to ensure equal treatment regardless of your race, gender, sex, sexual orientation. And then if you want to say that that's essentially a ban of Sharia law, this is going to be a ban of Christian fundamentalism. This is going to be a ban of Matthew when it says that essentially says that gay marriage is not true. This is going to be a ban of Paul's writings when he says that women can't be church leaders in the can't be church leaders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This isn't going to be an issue that will specifically restrict on Sharia law. Yes, it would restrict on Sharia law, and that's a good thing. We should restrict upon these oppressive norms the same way it'd be a good thing to oppress on Matthew when it says that marriage is just between a man or a woman, Paul when he says that women can't be leaders, or Leviticus when it says that slavery is okay.
Yeah, I do like that. I would agree with that, but I saw a video just before hopping on here that it was literally a bunch of Muslims that were, I guess, praying in the street with Mom Dami. And if you didn't know,
And then why
Mom
do you equate to
Dami's
them
mother,
holding to Sharia law? Like, what is the equivocation there? That's outrageous.
he
That's
means
like
women
that's like me
women have to
looking
cover their hair, women have to.
that's like me looking at just a random Christian in a random church in America and saying, yeah, they definitely hold to the same conceptions that the Groypers do. That America needs to be a white Christian fundamentalist nation where women, gay people, and minorities are all oppressed to the furthest extent of what that statement means.
Well, isn't Groypers just kind of an extreme conservative like movement compared
They're white
to?
Christian nationalists. They think that there's this conception of Christianity that is essentially white Christian nationalists.
Well, I haven't heard one thing that you said that kind of disproved what
And then also you're talking,
like.
and you're also talking about how like hijabs are like equate to Sharia law. Well, then you're basically telling us that we should also ban like Catholic, I call the Catholics from America, because you also understand in Catholicism that women are supposed to wear certain head dressings in particular settings. You understand that, right?
Are you talking about during church?
And nuns too. We need to ban
You're talking
nuns.
about during church. That's not the same as Sharia law, which is where women must never show their
Nuns
hair, they
too.
must never show their face, they must never own a bank account. That's not the same as Catholicism.
And then we have like the fundamentalist groups of Christianity that are like, well, if you're not white, you're less valuable than us. Hitler was awesome, and gay people shouldn't be able to get married, and slavery is justified for people that don't fall into the true Church of Jesus Christ as an extension of Levitical law. So.
Well, I don't think people actually.
See how we could point out like oppressive norms in both real. That's just my point, man. I think that all Abrahamic religion would uphold some oppressive norms to some extent for a lot of people. Then in all Abrahamic religions, there's going to be fundamentalist sects that are incredibly oppressive. Listen, man. I just disagree with all oppression. I disagree with all unequal treatment. I agree with a secular multicultural democracy, with the implementation of freedom of religion, still in accordance with those secular norms of being anti-oppression. And I feel like that's an incredibly important position to hold, because when you don't hold to this position, it allows for a lot of the rhetoric in which you've demonstrated on this live that does amount to very blatant Islamophobia, where you're going to be attacking the average Muslim that just wants a higher quality of life for themselves, believing in a faith and is good to their family, based upon a baseless association with Sharia law, even though a lot of the Muslim immigrants that we have in this country are in this country to escape Sharia law. Oppression and bigotry is bad regardless of the religion that is coming from. I will critique and condemn a lot of the teachings in Islam. I will critique and condemn a lot of the teachings in Christianity. I will critique and condemn a lot of the teachings in all religions. But I mean, at this point, I think I'm going to move on to the next guest because this conversation obviously isn't going anywhere. Appreciate you for your time. Let's go ahead and see what that next guest does have to say, y'all. Go ahead and drop a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you'd like to join. We're going to move on to the next guest. We just want to know why you support Trump. Then we just ended talking to him about religion for a while. But ultimately, like the culmination of all those facts insofar as what my conclusion is very, very simple.
I love you. I love you so much. Yo, I love you.
Appreciate that. Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Hi, what's up, buddy? What's going on?
Hey, I saw you in the queue. I know that we had a little bit of a chat earlier.
Yeah.
What's bringing you back?
So I would like to elaborate on my stance on things, but first and foremost, when you tried to spin it off and say that I was okay with transactions
treating
as far
the
as
bodies
women,
of children as transactions.
That's not what I said, and I do not agree with that. But I'm going to pull up the article right now just so I can show you, because this is something that is important. It says one contestant, and this is BuzzFeed, by the way. One contestant, Leah Lovano, offered a decidedly programmatic understanding of many contestants' relationships with Trump and Trump's with them a transaction. Do you see that word? Transaction. If anything, right here, the girls are using Trump more than he's using them. I don't mean that in a bad way either. It's networking and being smart. If he really thinks that they're into him, then that's his own delusion. I think both parties probably know what it is and see it in their own benefit. Okay?
So, by the way, what she's defending right now is Donald Trump walking backstage to
That's not what I'm
13-year-old
saying.
girls.
That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that. I was showing you the article that I found that backed my claim about what I said in the other live.
Let's just get it straight.
Can I speak?
Of course, you could speak.
Instead of you, let me speak. Instead of you throwing words in my mouth and making false claims. I do not support exploiting children. I never did. I never said that I did. I don't support.
Do you agree that Donald Trump had exploited the young girls he took advantage of by walking into their changing rooms when they were undressed?
Yes, but I don't believe it's murky water. You know what I mean? Because exploiting is essentially showing off nude. It's essentially when you are. This is stupid. To the public, you know what I mean? Like showing your body to the public type thing, whether that's with your consent or without. That's exploiting, but it's a murky water type situation. But anyway.
So something that both you and your husband had said, that it wasn't breaking the law, right?
That he went back there?
Yeah.
I don't have enough proof of the matter.
Yeah. So your husband,
I didn't say that it did or did not break the law.
So,
I did not say that it did or did not break the law.
So your husband made it clear. He said that they were within their legal rights, even though he disagrees with it. Do you agree with your husband?
And I'm not gonna speak on things that he says or I said, or what not I said.
I'm just asking you if you agree or disagree with what he said.
He didn't say that though.
Mm-hmm. That is what he said. He reaffirmed it 5 times.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. I don't know.
And then he even said, quote unquote, at the end of the day, he wasn't breaking the law, so I can't fault him for that. That's what
law was he breaking? What law? Pull up the law.
Precisely.
Tell me what law.
So you can't
tell me.
Do you agree with that statement?
Tell me what law he was breaking.
Well, I mean, you're saying that he didn't break one. So do you agree with your husband's quote unquote?
Did I say that, or is that what you're telling people so you can rage bait them? Did I say that, or is that what you're telling people?
You're asking me what law he broke.
Yes, what law was it that he broke? Please tell me. I would like to know.
So, I mean, I'd assume that this would classify as taking advantage.
What law?
I wouldn't be able to articulate the name of a law to you, but I could
So
explain.
are you speaking on facts or are you speaking on feelings, Dean?
I could explain the contents of a law that I'm sure exists that this would break.
What is the... You're sure, but what is the law?
I wouldn't be able to give you the name of a law.
Well, then you can't speak on fact. You're speaking on feeling. Am I wrong?
The reason why I disagree with you is because I'm positive that the contents that I could describe are illegal. The reason I'm positive of that is because the contents include the exploitation of minor underage girls, looking at them while they're naked as a 65-year-old man, and doing so while they were in a space where only women were. I'm led to believe that if a 65-year-old man went to Target and slid his head under the stall door of a changing room where there was a naked 13-year-old inside, that he'd be arrested and taken to jail for breaking the law. I don't know the name of the law that would be, so I can't give you the name of the law. I'm just sure that
Can you tell me the
somebody did that
definition
at
of
Target,
exploiting?
sure. So in this sense, we'd be using the term exploiting.
No. The definition of exploiting verbatim. What is it?
Yeah, the definition of exploiting verbatim that we'd be using in this conversation would be
No.
to take advantage of either a power dynamic or implicit contract that would exist inside of a space to reap some personal gain at the detriment of one else. Okay?
That's interesting because that's not the definition that I have. That's the definition you made up in your head.
So that is a definition I just made up because I believe that's how I use the term.
Okay,
That's how we use words.
You
and define
can't
words.
make up, Dean. You can't make up definitions and apply them to situations. That is not what the definition is. You're applying it based on your feelings of the
That's
situation.
how we use terms and define them. Wait, define chair.
Huh?
Define chair.
Chair?
Mm-hmm.
A thing you sit in?
You just made that up. You can't do that.
Are you hearing yourself? You're making up the definition of exploiting as it pertains to the situation, which is not factual. That is how you feel about it.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. So, I mean, in the last 24 hours, there's been a handful of things said by you as well as your husband. These things, in my mind, would amount to pure evilness. These things have started at saying that, your husband said that he feels as if he was within his, the parents were within their legal rights to consent on behalf of the children, for those children to be exploited, sexually speaking, by this older
That's not
gentleman.
what he said. That's not what he said. That's what you made it out to be. I have the entire clip. I have the entire clip of the entire fucking situation.
Of when he came on my life, as well as the conversation this morning.
And I was sitting right next to him when he did it. I was sitting right here.
He repeated that he believed that they were within their legal rights to do so, and that they consented for their kids. He just
But you did
disagreed
not.
with it.
No. You did not say. You did not ask him before he answered. Do you believe that parents have the legal right to exploit their children? That is not what you said.
So what he said.
Dean,
we'll clear this up.
Dean.
He affirmed that parents don't have the legal right to exploit their kids. He just didn't think that this was exploitation. So when I say that he said that he thinks parents have the legal right to exploit their kids, that's because he's saying that parents have the legal right to do something that I think is exploitation, and that any sensible person would think is exploitation, even though he doesn't think it's exploitation. Now, second point. Now, allow me to finish speaking. Right? You repeated that there is some transaction here that was true between Trump and these 13-year-olds. Where
business transactions, networking transactions.
You referred to him perving on naked 13-year-olds as a business transaction.
That's not what I said. You're twisting my words.
So
Dean,
then what are you referring to as the transaction?
I'm referring to the transaction of him interacting with these women backstage as them getting some
when they didn't have any clothes on when they were in their dressing rooms.
How do you know they were naked?
Because he said they were naked.
Were you there? Was anybody there? I've heard the clip. You don't need to play the clip.
No. Let's listen to the clip where he says that they're naked.
I've heard the clip, Dean.
I know, but that's important because he says they were there and they were naked.
But were they always naked, or was it just this one instance?
It doesn't matter if it just happens one time. Oh my God. If I ruthlessly murder an 85-year-old grandma one time or 100 times, I'd hope that you think I'm a POS regardless. Okay? Oh, he just exploited a group of children one time. Big whoop-de-doo. Come on.
Dean, This is where the issue lies. You want to spin the narrative and make it seem like me and my husband said something that we didn't. You are taking what we say and spinning it around so your little vultures of followers can come to our DMs and try to exploit us.
Okay.
That's what
you
you've
just
been doing
called
for
it
the
a business.
past couple days.
That's not what I'm. You just called it a business transaction.
It's a business transaction. It is not
Okay.
a sexual transaction.
Let's
Is
listen.
that not what I said?
Let's listen.
There's a difference.
Let's
There's
listen.
a difference.
Everybody,
There's a difference.
Everybody, let's listen to what she's referring to as a business transaction.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So that's a business transaction, right?
I'm saying the article that I found was a proof of business transaction said by the contestants verbatim. Does that apply to this specific interview? Don't know, don't really care. I'm just showing you what I read.
So what do you think that was a clip that I played to your husband that sparked
I know
all
the
this.
clip. I've heard the clip. I've heard the clip.
And the women and girls in that BuzzFeed article are referring to this happening to them.
Are you sure of that? Because
Yes.
he's owned Miss Teen USA or whatever. He did that for a long time.
Okay.
And how many pageants were there for Miss Teen USA? Are you sure that this is the specific interaction you're talking about?
Because we know that this happened to teenage underage minor girls at Miss Teen USA. Yes.
But does the article I found and the clip you just played correlate with each other? Or are they just completely different instances?
It correlates
Do you
to
know
one
that
another
for a
because
fact?
this is what happened to them.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yeah, I do know that for a fact this is what happened to them.
But
yes.
do you know for a fact that the clip that you just played and the article I have correlate? They are the same people, the same interactions at the same time that he is talking about in that instance.
So the
right
correlation
then and
is
there.
because this is what happened to them. I don't know for a fact that he was talking about the same group of underage girls in this clip that you're referring to in the BuzzFeed article. But I don't need to know that as a fact. Okay, it's probably more likely that he's not referring to the underage teenage girls in the BuzzFeed article, because I'm sure that this happened on hundreds of instances, right? And maybe in this clip, Donald Trump was referring to a certain one, or Donald Trump was being broad and referring to all of these circumstances.
You're thinking that. You're thinking with your feelings. You're not thinking with proof.
I would
You
say
don't have proof. You don't have facts.
So the proof
You
is
literally-
the proof is as follows: Donald Trump goes on Howard Stern, boasts about walking in on underage teenage girls and grown adult women, and then we have 10, 20, 30 right women now that were underage teenage girls at the time competing in Miss Teen USA that can personally testify to this fact with great detail that they were taken advantage of, that they were exploited by Donald Trump walking into their changing rooms. That is more than enough evidence for me. But I'm gonna wrap this up now. There's a handful of things I want to say.
Let me finish my thing and then whatever, I'll go on my way. Okay?
Right.
I have never supported any sort of exploiting, trafficking, whatever. I've never supported any of that, never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth.
I don't think those. And
Neither has my husband.
Hitler never called the Holocaust a genocide. I don't think that you need to
Neither
say
has
it
my
for it to be
husband.
true
Did
based
those words
upon
come
your
out of my mouth?
description.
Did those words come out of my mouth, or is that what you spun it around to look like?
So the words
Did
that
those words come out of my mouth?
So in the same,
Did those words come out of my mouth?
in the same way that Hitler never referred to the Holocaust as a genocide because he didn't think it was a genocide, he thought it was good, right? I don't think that those exact words have to come out of your mouth in order for the claim to be true, because what you're describing is something that I would describe as exploitation of minor safety, right?
You're saying
and I
that
feel
with
like any
your
reasonable
feeling.
mind would either. Are you saying that it's wrong to use my feelings and my brain to dictate the conclusion that taking advantage of naked minors when they're only naked to change under the implicit exception that there's going to be no men around because they're prepping for a pageant is exploitative, like inherently? Okay, like I'm pretty sure that any like sensible person can agree that is inherently exploitative. But here's all that I want to say, because
Are you gonna let me finish talking?
I
Are you gonna let me finish talking?
I don't think that I am, because I want to say something that is incredibly important. So in the last 24 hours, both you as well as your husband have said a handful of things. In fact, we even have quotations of them. right? Your husband said that he thinks that the parents were within their legal rights to consent for the children to be viewed naked by Trump. He said that, quote unquote, as long as it's legal, he can't fault him. He can't fault them for it. You've said, quote unquote, that there was a business transaction, that when Donald Trump was looking at these naked teenage girls, it was a business transaction. On that panel, somebody else said, quote unquote, that CP is art. Yeah.
I don't know who that other person was. That was not. I have no idea who she was.
Alongside a handful of other things. Okay, and the way that I responded to like the same sentiments that you're echoing now, and the ones that your husband echoed 2 days ago, right, was to turn around to my community and say, feel free to find public information on these people. Don't post it on the internet. Take it to local CPS.
You can tell them that all you want.
I would now like to say that I do think that was a bad reaction from me. I shouldn't have reacted in that manner. I shouldn't have like told my community to do that. That was wrong of me. Okay, I did drop the ball there. But simultaneously, like I think that like you and your husband are incredibly evil people, very, very evil people. And I think that the spin that this has led to on the internet with how people on the right have been referring to me, I've unironically had people refer to me as a P3DO. People's takeaway from me saying that parents can't consent for their children to be exploited is that I think that children can consent for themselves, which is false. I don't believe that. I mean, there's tweets now with like 10,000, 20,000 likes saying, at Dean, children can't consent. It's a parent's job to take care of them, right? At Dean is a psychopathic narcissist, right? At Dean is a very evil all of these things, okay? Right? I think that that's insane. I think that's ludicrous. Okay, I once again, I'll re-agree that my reaction shouldn't have been what it was, to like call my fan base to find public information to take to local CPS. But I did drop the ball there. I should have done something else. But I do think that the beliefs of you and your husband are incredibly evil. The beliefs of you and your husband have been made clear. You've repeated the sentiment once again that your husband said that the parents were in their legal rights to allow their minor children to be viewed naked by Trump, and that as long as it's legal, he doesn't have a problem with it. You've told me that Donald Trump viewing these teenagers naked is a business transaction. Absolutely
not what I
evil, completely evil. You've repeated that's what you've said, then denied it 5 times. Nobody knows where you stand. And I'm now going to do what I should have done when I had your husband up. Okay, are you ready? Everybody watch this. Watch this, everybody. I'm now going to do to her, right, what my reaction to her husband should have been. Okay, I shouldn't have said, hey, community, I want you to find public information, take it. I shouldn't have said that. I really shouldn't have. That was a bad reaction for a billion reasons. Here's what I should have done instead. Everybody watch this. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest because what she believes in is absolutely evil. It is so evil to suggest that an adult man looking at naked teenagers is a business transaction. It is so evil to suggest that parents are in their legal rights to allow an older man to view their children naked. Okay, it is so evil to suggest that even if it was legal, therefore they shouldn't have a problem with it. It is so evil to suggest those things. Incredibly, incredibly evil. And now, let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, everybody. Lauren, thank you for the community celebration. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy I could clear the air on all of that as well, okay? Right? Because, you know, from what's been posted on the internet, you know, you get that clip without the context of what that guy believes in, of me just saying, guys, find his public information, don't post it on the internet, take it to the CPS. I shouldn't have given that reaction. I shouldn't have told you guys to do that, okay? Right? That was wrong of me. I dropped the ball. Right? That's what my reaction should have been instead. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here, y'all. Everyone just give us a minute. We're going to go ahead and get that next guest, Aiden, loaded into the live. Everybody just be patient while we get that next Trump supporter to load in, y'all. Everybody just get this next Trump supporter to load in. Here we go, y'all. Also, make sure that we are double tapping away in that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends.
I did not mean to request, my bad.
No worries, Aiden. If you happen to be a part of the 15,000 people watching the stream and you support Trump, go ahead and drop a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. We'll get you loaded in here. And then also, by the way, nobody in the chat can say that I'm lying because you literally just heard her say it herself. You just heard his wife on live sit for us for 5 minutes, repeat the same thing, read off this BuzzFeed article describing it as a business transaction, okay? Repeating that it's a business transaction, saying that she doesn't think that that was exploitative, okay? You can't say that I'm lying when you all heard it less than 2 minutes ago, and that's why I brought her up, so you could all hear it firsthand. right? Absolutely terrible. But let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone, do just give us a minute. We got Rich loading up into the live, y'all. And thank you guys so much for the gifts on TikTok. I do really appreciate that. What is going on? Do you support Trump, Rich?
I'm independent, I can defend both sides. But I supported him a couple of months ago. I did vote for him, but now I'm on the fence and I'm disappointed.
Hey man, that's great. I think that's awesome that you're on the fence. That's progress. Honestly, what I'd recommend to you is to probably just watch live and take away something. Unless you have like any particular like reasons why you're still on the fence. Like, is there anything about Trump that like you still support that is keeping you from just running away from him full speed?
Yes, there is, and I appreciate, like, you seem like a really smart kid, and it's the first time I'm kind of watching you. I've heard your name before, so let me ask you real quickly, Dean. Have you heard of what the globalists are? The globalists.
Oh, the globalist agenda? Is that the
Yeah.
billionaires?
Well, yeah, it sort of came from Alex Jones, but this is just hear me out. Okay, yeah. So the argument is this: that Trump is a nationalist and he's not a globalist, and so Trump claims that the political machine are all actually run by the globalists, which are the international consortium of powerful world leaders, secret leaders, and they're actually they're the ones who had the U.S. agenda in hand, and so Trump was an outsider. And people voted for him because he was an outsider. At worst, he's a nationalist. At worst, he's the fascist. He's a national. He's a fascist nationalist. But he's not a globalist.
I gotta say, like, this is like some QAnon shit. I'm really proud of you for like saying that you're now on the fence and you don't just like totally support Trump after like regurgitating like QAnon conspiracy theories. Like, I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. I don't think I've seen that before. Like, I like, isn't this crazy? Like, even the people that believe in these QAnon conspiracy theories, like, I'm sorry if you take that to heart in the negative way. That's just like what you're doing.
No.
I'm more so talking to my chat right now. Isn't it crazy that like people with like that believe in like more of these like QAnon conspiracy theories are like still on that fence and are like running away from Trump? They don't fully support him now. Wow, good for you. I'm proud. I'm really proud. Honestly, man, my mom holds on to some crazy right-wing conspiracy theories, and even she's not made it as far as you have. Good for you.
Well, you're going to be more well versed in the labeling it. So, what exactly did I say that's a QAnon conspiracy theory? Which one was it?
A panel of secret people that we know nothing about that's controlling America, and like Donald Trump was against them and fought after them, and like and that's why he like won the office. He's like pro-America and against like this globalist agenda that is like controlled by like a small amount of unknown rich people. Like that's a conspiracy theory.
But Dean, I think there is some evidence there, and it does come from Alex Jones, meaning that a lot of the political campaigns are funded by corporations, and especially the corporations are actually not run by like American engineers. That the corporations in the United States of America are actually run. There's a lot of financial or international funds that plow into the corporations, and then the corporations in turn fund the political campaign. So
I don't think that the issue here is going to be like this like secret circle of unknown rich people controlling American politics. It's just going to be the fact that we have super PACs where they could collect donations and funds without labeling where they're coming from.
Okay. So let's say that that's the truth, that we don't really know where they come from. There are super PACs. I think Donald Trump was voted without the support of those super PACs, I believe.
So Elon Musk funded him over $300 million through a super PAC. So like individual donations max out at like what? Like $1,200 through like a regular PAC. Okay, well, I think he funded the election over $300 million. The only way that he could have done that is through a super PAC.
Sure, but keep in mind, Elon Musk, that is transparent, right?
And then also, like, you understand that, like, even about like foreign influence on like American politics, and like your claim that Donald Trump works outside of this machine. How many millions of dollars has Donald Trump collected from AI PAC?
Look, it's never going to be like a clear line, right? There's always going to be like it's. I mean, Donald Trump is so well known. He's and he's been in so many businesses. There's so many. He's going to get money from probably some sources that he shouldn't.
250 million. 250 million is the amount of money that Donald Trump has collected from pro-Israel and Israeli interest groups. $250 million.
Okay, so you might be right on that, and I know, like, I can tell that the way, like you know the facts and you read a lot, and so let's say I concede on the point that it might not be the globalist nationalist, but Trump is still a nationalist. Would you agree?
Trump is a nationalist.
America first.
But I mean, listen, man, I don't think that being a nationalist means that you just put the country first. I think that being a nationalist more so means that you at least want to try to convince people that you put the country first. Like no, under your definition of nationalism, I don't think that Donald Trump is a nationalist because I think he places this country last. His economic policy is terrible for the people of this country. His mass deportation is terrible for the economy of this country. His interests overseas, such as starting a war with Iran, bombing them because Israel told us to, and terrible diplomacy with Russia, Ukraine, and his plan to send America to the Gaza Strip to finish the ethnic cleansing of the remaining Palestinians.
Do me a favor, Dean.
That's not going to be like for the interests of the people of this country and against the interests of the people in this country.
Please do me a favor. Please educate me, and I'm being serious, on how the mass deportation is bad for the United States.
Sure, man. Also, no, seriously, this is crazy. I'm having like a decent conversation with somebody that like came up here with QAnon conspiracy theories. This is just like uncharted territory for me. I've never experienced this before. So like majority, like I'd say that mass deportation is so bad for our economy. Let's consider the fact that there's 8.3 million undocumented workers in our labor force. If we were to forcefully remove all of them tomorrow, plus the 12 million undocumented consumers, according to the Center on American Progress, our GDP would take a hit of 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion dollars per year. That is a massive hit. That's quite synonymous as a percentage of our GDP to how much our GDP decreased from 2007 to 2009 during the Great Recession. And then also not to mention the fact that it's an estimated cost of $88 billion per year just to build the detention facilities and get the operation done. Plus, we'd be losing the $100 billion per year that they pay in taxes. So it costs a lot of money. And then you have the like special humanitarian concerns that have followed Donald Trump's deportations, like sending an immigrant without his day in court, without due process, and illegally violating his withholding order, Abrigo Garcia, to a center for terrorists in El Salvador, where he was beaten, tortured for 3 weeks. And then even when SCOTUS ruled that was illegal and that he had to come home, the Trump administration was like, no, he's never going to come home. That was terrible. And then M. Khalil, I honestly forget his first name. I just know that it starts with an M. M. Khalil was held in a detention center for 3 fucking months. Even though he had no issues with his visa nor his green card, against his will, there's nothing he could have done. We've also Mahmoud Khalil was held in a detention center for 3 months, even though he was a legal green card holder with no issues. Completely outrageous. I mean, we'd have had citizens detained. There's a story about this undocumented, this 6-year-old with a parent that was undocumented that literally like soiled their pants because an ICE agent lifted their shirt and garnished a pew. And then that ICE agent took him as well as their parent to a detention facility, and the 6-year-old wasn't offered a change in clothes for hours. You know, there are a lot of humanitarian concerns too.
Okay, I'd like to respond. You're smart. You deserve the followers you have. Let's say that you've convinced me, and I'm sort of now thinking, okay, so if Trump ran again, I would not vote for him. And I'm being honest about this, Dean. So, do you want me to go back towards why I may still have supported Trump, why I might still vote for him, or do you want me to maybe make a couple of comments on what you said?
I'll let you choose. You get to choose if you want to respond to my reasons there, mass deportation and whatnot, or otherwise. But here, real quick before we do, I want to thank Zoe for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Zoe. Zoe says the fact that he thinks Christians have better morals than others just shows he's a Christian in denial, likely. As well as Joshua, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Guys, let's get 500 Joshua W's down below. Joshua, thank you so much for the love. Joshua says MAGA voting against the border bill disproves this argument. The border bill would have taken steps towards abating the issue of disenfranchised workers. On top of the liberals, the only ones advocating for mass amnesty. I'd agree with that about the border bill. I think liberals could do better for mass amnesty, but no, seriously, thank you so much for the $50 donation, Joshua, as well as Casey. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, Casey. I do really appreciate you for that love, as well as Zach with the $20. Thank you so much, Zach. Saying it's not wrong to do everything you can to potentially protect a child from something like that. As well as Blake, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Blake didn't leave a message, just the kindness. Show some love to Zoe, Joshua for the 50, Casey with the 20, Blake with a 50, and Zach with a 20 down below in that chat, y'all. We also have a few to get over on PayPal, but I want to allow this guest to speak, so we'll do that in a second. But seriously, show some love to our super chatters, y'all. But take it away.
You're pretty fantastic, man. Okay, so on Abrigo Garcia, I think a lot of people, the Republicans, forget that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, it's actually meant to protect the little guy, the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. I think Abrigo Garcia, the Democrats don't support him, but they support his use case, because that's how I view him. I don't support him. the Trump administration was wrong. Everything we said was correct. And I think the Republicans tend to forget that, or they forget that, and it actually makes me pretty nauseous that they claim that they're defending the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, but they're not. The Constitution is supposed to actually protect the individual, and that means the oddball, the one who's not popular, the one who has no friends and no groups to attach to. So I actually thought Trump is completely wrong. His administration was wrong on the Bergo Garcia, and I hate that about the Republican side. But so let me skipping to the question. The Democratic Party did not put up a viable candidate in Kamala Harris. So I had to vote Trump. What do you say to that, Dean? What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I thought that she was more of a viable candidate, not only because of her own qualifications in policy. She served in all three branches of government, served as an AGDA senator, and served as a congresswoman, and served as a VP. But then the policy that she ran on was also great for Americans. I mean, it included things such as tax cuts for 100 million Americans. It included things such as codifying federal protections for women and girls' right to choose, subsidies to reduce the price that it costs to buy a new house. So there's going to be more people that want to buy houses. Therefore, there's going to be more houses built. Now, there's also a lot of senses that I don't believe that she was a viable candidate in. Her support for Israel, and maybe her lack of a willingness to expand upon what her specific goals would be with places like Ukraine, etc. But I will say here that what makes her overqualified in the context of the 2024 election was who she was running against. I don't think that there was a single context in which Donald Trump was more viable or better, regardless if it was for me, America, or the world, when compared to Kamala Harris.
Okay, so Dean, this is one of the few times I'm going to say this and use your age against you. I don't think Kamala Harris passed that sniff test that a lot of Americans who have experience with people, they can spot a phony.
No,
and she was a phony.
Here's the way I look at it. Let's evaluate the past. So her past was to be an AG, an attorney, a DA, a senator, and a VP. That was her past. Donald Trump's past was boasting about creeping on minor girls while they were undressed, boasting, sexualizing a 10-year-old girl, raping E. Jean Carroll, calling all black people lazy, going bankrupt 6 times, harboring Russian mafia members, and the list goes on and on.
Part of the delinquency that Trump portrayed, though, is I think a lot of the delinquency that the Democrats portray. It's very confusing to me. But Trump came across as more honest.
Donald Trump I think is really good at lying to the American people. He lied over 30,000 times in his first term, told the biggest lie that any sitting president has ever told with his denial of 2020. And maybe the reason he came across as more honest is because he was able to convey these lies in a way that made sense to you. But that doesn't change the fact that they were lies.
Yeah. You're a smart guy, man. I'm glad you got me on here, because I think the majority of the podcasters and social media influencers that are young like you, they're just talking heads. You seem to be really, really, really well-rounded in like your coherence.
You know what, Rich? You know what? Kudos to you too, man. You literally repeated a QAnon conspiracy theory when you first joined this live, and you were able to have a pretty decent conversation with me with like some critique of the right. I've never seen that before. Literally never seen somebody that holds to QAnon conspiracy theories say that before. So kudos to you as well. I'm going to move on to the next guest. I really do hope that you end up hopping off that fence and running away from Trump, but I guess we'll just have to see. Thank you so much for coming up.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Take care.
We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody, for the 13.3 thousand people in that TikTok live. Make sure that we're double tapping, everybody. Let's try to get up to 2 million likes. Yeah, even somebody in my YouTube chat is like, wow, what a compliment from a QAnon guy. Yeah, that was something. That was really something. I truly haven't seen that before. Let's go get that next guest, Jake, uploaded into the box. While we do, there's a handful of people that I'd like to thank over on that PayPal. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy crap. Yeah, there's quite a few here. Brittany, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. This was around an hour ago. Thank you for the love, Brittany. Show some love to Brittany down below. As well as Taryn with a 5. And then Karsten, thank you so much for the 10 as well. I already thanked you for that a while ago. Sarah with the $5 saying that insufferable girl you debated yesterday made a vid. I know, I saw that vid. Propaganda. As well as Jack with a $5 saying that Jay Sixer was pardoned, was sentenced to life in prison on other charges a few days ago. Bro, Jack, what's his name? I need to know that information. Thank you, Jack. Then Michaela, thank you so much for the $8 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much. And then, yo, Mr. Jay with the $100 donation over on PayPal. Jesus Christ, Jay. That is so incredibly kind of you, man. I want to see at least 1,000 JWs down below. Seriously, thank you for the love, Jay. They say, a sublime piece of poetry for you. When you want to debate the way Dean does debate, you must ask yourself this question hard. Trump screamed it out loud, so you ask it proud. Oh, crap, do I have the cards? You know what, Jay? Fucking heat. Fucking heat. You know, we usually give the people with $100 donos like 1,000 W's in the chat. No, let's give them 10,000 W's right now for that hard-ass poem. And welcome in, Jacob. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, how old are you?
I am 31 and I am from Kentucky.
Phenomenal, man. Well, let's go and hop into a conversation. Why the heck do you support Trump?
Well, honestly, it's because I think that he stands for the idea of not relying on the selfish federal government, like the Constitution says we should be. Not relying on them, but being independent. You know, we are an independent nation.
Dude, change your profile picture. Change your profile picture. No. Listen, let me cook. Change your profile picture. I stopped listening to you the moment you said, like the Constitution says we should do. You were telling me that you like how Donald Trump doesn't care about the Constitution with the profile picture of the signal of the U.S. Army when everybody in the Army took an oath to uphold that Constitution.
I do. And I take an oath to uphold the same Constitution that gives you right to, you know, sit here and complain about Trump supporters and Trump all day long. But at the same time, how is it you went from a conservative family to believing what you believed other than what you told Wikipedia?
High IQ. No, I'm just kidding.
High IQ, really?
Actually, sorry, man. There's a little bit of a joke. I'll expand further upon that. Education. No, just critically thinking, using my brain, being exposed to ideas that I hadn't known prior, and seeing that they had good reason to justify them.
I just have a hard time believing that in the 4 years you've been in the adult world, you learned something.
I haven't even been in the adult year. I haven't even been in the adult year for 4 years. I'm 20. I've been in the adult world for 2 years.
However long you've been in. So let me ask you a question. Yeah. You honestly think that the federal government is there to bend at our every whim? You honestly believe that?
Is the federal government there to bend at our every whim? No, I don't think that the government is there to bend at our every whim, given that our whim is going to be incredibly immoral, illegal, or unconstitutional when just.
Okay, and by you professing your love for the Democrat Party on here, you're literally saying the exact opposite of what you said.
By professing my love for the Democrat Party. I don't love the Democrat Party.
Then why do you claim it?
I don't claim that I love the Democrat Party.
You
I just
did
claim the
on
opposite.
Wikipedia and all your Instagram pages that you have of the, I think, 6 of them that you've got? And you told Charlie Kirk
one Instagram page.
A Democrat than be a right-wing conspiracy theorist.
Boom, kill it. I'd rather be a Democrat than MAGA. 110%. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. See, that's the thing. I think that the Democratic Party gets it right significantly more than the Republican Party. All right. Does this mean that the Democrat Party? 1 second. Does this? Let me speak. Does this mean that the Democrat Party always gets it right? No. And in fact, I have a story for you. So I sometimes, I do deals to like brand deals, book deals, and whatnot. Somebody reached out to have me advertise a book. Okay, I was like, okay, I'll get the book. If I like it, I'll advertise it. Advertising a good book and making some income. Sweet. That's awesome. I get the book, and I'm thinking that, well, this will be a good book because it was endorsed by Bill Clinton and it was written by a Dem. Okay, I open the book. It starts talking about how we need to reduce the amount of money that you need to steal to zero to be charged with a hard felony, and how DEI sucks and undocumented immigrants are crazy criminals that need to all be sent out of the country. You know what I did? I turned around, I sent them back the book, and I said, I'm not going to advertise that because I disagree with it. Now, why am I sharing this story with you? This shows that I don't have blind faith in my party, nor the leaders of it, and the only reason why I consider myself a liberal or a Democrat in this regard is because I vote for progress, and what we've seen is a whole lot more progress from the Dems compared to the right in modern American history, and I also really hope that we're able to further progress the Democratic Party to be even better than it is today, and those are my two goals. Do what is progressive for the country, and do what is progressive for the left, since they have the highest chance of getting it right at the end of the day.
So is that socialism? Is that your end goal?
You don't even know what socialism is. Don't say words that
I
you can't
do.
define.
It's called I want to get paid for my services, not do it for free.
Okay, so what is socialism? Define that.
Okay. Like I said, doing stuff for free.
I just heard the mouse click. So you didn't know how to define it. So once again, I'll reiterate. Don't call things socialist if you don't know what socialism means. You just defined socialism as doing stuff for free. So that's
like
not
you did
true.
with the exploitation argument.
So socialism is going to be where the workers own the means of production. It has nothing to do with the redistribution of wealth. It is just simply a mode of production as an economic theory.
Okay,
Silly
and you're
fucking goose.
forgetting the other portion of it. It says socialism is a political and economic system that advocates for social ownership and control of the means of production.
Exactly what I just said. Thank you.
Private ownership, which is the very default to capitalism.
Absolutely. That's what socialism is.
Huh?
Precisely.
Right. So you're advocating for government control instead of having a private owner owned
no,
company.
me, I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist.
So then why are you talking about everything that every other country wants us to talk about? And you said earlier you're not a part of the global domination viewpoint, but yet Canadians, you, Parker, and Harry are all spitting the same stuff that they are, and that leads to socialism. So please explain to me the difference.
Well, socialists would listen to you say that the DNC leads to socialism, and they'd laugh in your face. Like, I'm just gonna say that no. If you actually get a socialist, if you actually get a leftist on this live, they'll laugh in your fucking face. They'll say that capitalism is incredibly bad, and because capitalism is embraced by Democrats, you'll even find some socialists or communists that will tell you that Democrats or liberals are center right because they're capitalists. Right? So no, that's actually not true. You're just using words to define things that you have no clue. Like, how about this? How about this? Name a single policy that Kamala Harris ran on that was socialist.
Price control?
Wait, controlling the price of things is not socialist because that has nothing to do with the mode of production.
It's not your job to control the price.
Okay,
you can control the market, but you're not supposed to
if you
control
think
the
that price controls are going to be socialist, then you would say that all of Donald Trump's tariffs are terrible communist, socialist, leftist, far progressive policy because they control the price of goods.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, I never said I fully supported everything
look
you
at
did.
this. You support a crazy communist socialist, sir.
Communists? I highly doubt it. Why are you so offended by America first?
I don't think that Donald Trump places America first.
How?
How? For sure. He wants to destroy our economy, take 7 million people off of Medicaid, slash the ACA. He wants to put the risk of SNAP benefits for 11 million Americans at risk and even take them away from 3 million Americans. He also wants to impose tariffs, which will serve as a regressive tax on the poorest among us by because the less money you make, the larger amount of your income you spend on the bare necessities to live, meaning the more of that burden you disproportionately pick up. Not to mention his mass deportation is just terrible, ripping 8.3 million of our hardest workers out of our economy. Undocumented immigrants are literally more likely to participate in the labor force instead of an option like mass amnesty, where they'll only be incentivized to work harder because now they qualify for federal benefits. It absolutely places America last, sir. And the fact that you can't see that is indicative of high level propagandas and low levels of critical thought. But I'm not going to hold it against you because that's why I'm here to have you critically think.
Critically thinking. So what you're saying is, I'm just going to say it. So everyone says that this country was built on the backs of others, right? Okay, I'll agree with that. I can stand with that. So what you're saying is because you don't want to go out in the farmer field, because you don't want to do the agricultural work or do the street paving, you want illegals to come do it for cheaper, right?
Oh my goodness gracious. So I don't want undocumented immigrants to garner lower wages than citizens, and that's why I support mass amnesty, because the reason they garner lower wages is because they have less bargaining power against their employer, and we could give them more bargaining power against their employer if we make them residents or citizens. It's actually you saying that you want undocumented immigrants to collect even lower wages because they came into America for a higher quality of life compared to where they came came from.
undocumented takes
So you look
away
at the fact
from
that they
the
get paid
economy.
lower on average compared to citizens, and you're like, let's forcefully deport them back over the border. Some of them, let's send them to get fucking beaten, tortured in prisons for terrorists. And the others, they get to go back to the lower quality of life that incentivized them to uproot them and their family and illegally come into a country where they knew they'd be persecuted just to garner higher quality of life. But then I'm like, I want to give them an even higher quality of life by making them residents or citizens so they could collect better wages, qualify for benefits, make this country stronger, and better provide for them and their family. Obviously, they want it, and obviously, our country needs it if we want to truly be the global icon of innovative success and global industries and manufacturing and the most galvanized consumer base in the year. What do you think it does to our economy when we kick out 8.3 million of our laborers? What does that do to the GDP? Well, according to the Center on American Progress, when we account for their contributions to the GDP and the contributions of their employer, because we also have to account for the profit extracted off of their labor, that's 1.1 trillion or 1.7 trillion dollars per year that you're just seeing bye-bye to. It's absolutely outrageous. No, put this country first. Stop supporting mass deportation. Support mass amnesty. There's not a single positive outcome of mass deportation, and every single negative outcome of mass deportation is mirrored as a positive through mass amnesty. That is how you put this country first.
So putting the country first, like I said, but actually, you know what? Get off that point because, you know, whatever. You're not going to see it. You do this to do that, right?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You
I
just
do
said
this to do that.
undocumented
Absolutely.
coming across the border to live here, work here, give them mass amnesty. Well, what do they need amnesty from? I thought no one was above the law. Isn't that what y'all said a year ago
They need
when Trump was being convicted of all the felonies?
They need amnesty so they could be resident or citizen. They need
Why
amnesty.
would they need amnesty if they didn't break the law?
They did. They committed a misdemeanor offense when they entered into this
Okay,
country
so
illegally.
no one is above the law, right, Dean? Isn't that what you said? No one is above the law. Why does Trump get a scapegoat? Because he's president of the United States.
So when we say that no one's above the law, I mean I've never used those words. What I say and said is that no one's above any law that is just. But obviously, I think that there's a lot of laws that exist that are unjust. Like, for instance, you know, like during American slavery, there was an amendment to the Constitution, the Fugitive Slave Clause, that required you to return an escaped enslaved individual, if you happen to come across one, to their captor. If we want to uphold this message that no one's above the law, well, I guess that, you know, we'd say that you'd be compelled to return that escaped enslaved individual. I don't agree with that. But as it applies to like undocumented entry into this country, I mean, I think that I could say no one's above the law, and that's why we need to do mass amnesty to change the law.
So again, you're doing exactly what you fought against for years, or for the last year on here, and I've watched you. And honestly, I'll give it to you. I'll admit,
no, because allowing Trump to break the law only generates negative outcomes for this country. Allowing undocumented immigrants citizenship by amending the law only.
On the J6 case.
Okay.
It's no different.
Allowing Trump to break the law only generates negative outcomes for this country. Allowing undocumented immigrants residents here. Allow me to finish. Can you allow me to finish speaking? You are interrupting me. Allowing Trump to break the law only generates negative outcomes for this country. Allowing undocumented immigrants to become residents or citizens by amending the law only generates positive outcomes for this country. When we're talking about the efficacy of the implementation of a law or enforcement of a law, we're going to be doing so based upon the outcomes that that law would generate. Obviously, if we, for instance, have a law that bans gay marriage, we'd say that we need to amend that law and abolish that law and change that law because it generates bad outcomes for America by oppressing gay people. So if there's a law in the books that says that we need to deport the undocumented immigrants in this country, that's where I'd hop in. I'd say we need to amend that law. We need to have a solution to mass amnesty instead, because mass deportation only generates negative outcomes for this country. Meanwhile, mass amnesty only generates positive outcomes for this country. Now, if you would agree with me here, that's the way that we should evaluate the laws in the books. Go ahead and tell me how Donald Trump pardoning somebody like DJ Rodriguez, who literally pled guilty to trying to kill a cop, generated positive outcomes for this country.
It didn't, and I can agree with you on that. I never said Trump was a saint.
So then you're such a fucking hypocrite for sitting here condemning undocumented immigrants and then also supporting a president who's totally fine with an almost cop killer.
I'm not condemning an immigrant. I'm condemning the American people who know better. That's who I'm condemning. I love people to come over, but I want them to do it the right way. So again, what you just said makes no sense at all, because what you're saying is it's okay to break the law as long as we change it. That's the message you're sending to everybody.
Okay.
So
obviously,
if I go,
can I be very clear? Can I be very? I want to make myself very clear. I'm going to make myself very clear. So with undocumented immigration into the country, I disagree with undocumented entry. I think it's bad for reasons of national security, but more so, I think that it's bad for the reason that our government is ultimately culpable for the undocumented entry into this country, because they're the ones that created the incentive. Why do you think there's millions of people that have chose to come into this country with the use of undocumented means in the last 20 years? Is it because they're these crazy criminals? No, they don't want to be undocumented immigrants. They don't want to not be eligible to get a driver's license. They don't want to not be eligible to have to work a job and pay taxes and not be able to file for a tax return or qualify for Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. So why have so many people done it? The ultimate root cause of undocumented immigration into this country is the unattainable legal means of entering into this country. And the reason that the legal means of entering into this country are so unattainable, are so expensive, it takes so long, is because our government has used the legal means of entry into this country as a pawn to generate undocumented entry that they could then run on solving, but then truly do nothing about it. Like, think about it. Donald Trump has been going hard on the issue of immigration and undocumented immigrants since 2015. But since 2015, have we ever seen Donald Trump speak about fixing the legal means of entry into this country to just eradicate the root cause of undocumented entry? Not once. So ask yourself why. Is it maybe because if he continues to talk about the undocumented immigrants and place the Band-Aids on the bullet wounds, that will galvanize his base and cause him to have an uproar of support by creating this boogeyman in America to scare people into supporting him? I think so. All right. And for that reason, I think that our government is in part responsible for said undocumented entry, which also means that our government is in part responsible for fixing said undocumented entry, as well as applying a solution that is best fit for this country, us and the immigrants. And that solution is mass amnesty. Okay? Every single thing that you've said to me in the last 5 minutes here has been purely rhetorical. We haven't been talking about the substance of what the outcome of mass deportation on America is. We haven't been talking about the substance of what deportation on the immigrants are. We haven't been talking about the real world outcomes of any of these ideas. So I want to ask you a very simple question. Can you name one positive outcome of mass deportation on America, the American society, the American people, or the American government?
No, I actually agree with you.
So if there's not a single positive outcome of it, we should get rid of it, right?
No, look, I don't agree with mass deportations because of the tomato incidents. I don't agree with that at all. There's room for error there. And the fact that you even said immigration reform is everything I've been saying for years. But I have high hope that Trump, if he's as smart as what I think he could be, he will actually sit there and say, you know what? All right, let's deal with the bad hombres, and not all of them are bad. Okay, I'm just gonna say
hombres, bro. No, I'm not gonna allow. I'm not even gonna allow you to speak. That's fucked up. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Come on.
Okay, what do you want me to say? The bad guy?
Yeah, just continue.
Okay, we'll say the extreme lawbreakers. Does that help? My bad.
So undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses, God.
But anyway, all right. So what if this is the first step into a long and gated process? You said putting Band-Aids on the bullet wounds. So what if this is a bleeding artery that we need to actually fix and stop the bleeding?
It's funny because you're doing the same thing that Christians do. What do I mean by that is, Christians do this thing where they're like, oh, Jesus is going to come back soon. Trust me, bro. And what I mean by that, and when I say that you're doing the same thing, I'm basically able to describe how Donald Trump's policy sucks for this country. Then you're like, bro, no, trust me, bro. He's going to change his mind and it's going to end up being a great thing. Even though obviously what he's doing right now is really bad and I can't refute the fact that you're saying that. Just trust me, bro. Like, that's essentially what you're doing. But here, one second. I have a couple people to thank here super duper quickly. Ken, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat saying, please talk about how cruel the ICE tactics are. Not just how undocumented immigrants are good for the economy. Well, we've been talking about both. I mean, earlier in the conversation with this guest, we went over how the Trump administration played judge, jury, and executioner with Abreu Garcia, or they brandished a gun to a 6-year-old with leukemia, and that caused him to soil his pants and didn't change his clothes for hours. So we talk about both, absolutely. As well as Elegant Lee. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Elegant Lee, thank you so much for the love. Let's get at least 500 Elegant Lee W's down below. They say, the hardest thing for me is realizing that the ignorance level is so much more than I, a true drama queen, has ever been able to come to terms with. You're the best, sir. Please don't fire me from the one liberal versus 100 Trump supporters. Elegantly, I really appreciate you for being here with us. Let's see 500 elegantly W's down below. As well as Kimberly, thank you so much for the $20. I have not gotten back to you about that yet. I'll make sure I check the applications. But Kimberly, thank you for the $20. As well as Jay, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat as well. Thank you so much. Jay says it's crazy. MAGA can't admit Trump is no saint, quote unquote, because he sexually assaulted somebody and committed 34 felonies. And pardon violent offenders while Harris is somehow the worst because of the most insignificant reasons. Yeah, welcome to my life, Jay. It's crazy out here. Like, these people make no goddamn sense. I appreciate you for the $20, Jay. That is incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Jay down below, y'all. And then I'd also like to quickly thank Cameron for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Cameron. And then Jania with the $5 as well. Thank you so much for the love. Genuine question for the Army profile pick guy. Didn't Trump call veteran suckers and losers? I'll let you answer that before I continue. It actually doesn't look like it has an answer for your question, Janae. Olivia, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. I do really appreciate you for the love, Olivia. Let's get 500 Olivia W's down below. Thank you so much. Olivia says, watching you and Parker crush MAGA is one of my absolute favorite things. Beautifully spoken as always. Thank you for the love, Olivia. That is so incredibly kind. As well as Kirsten with the $20 over on PayPal saying, hey, Dean, just saw you today and wanted to say I really admire your patience. Thank you for the love, Kirsten. Then Carissa with the $10 and then Idavia with the $20 as well. Thank you for the love, Idavia. That is IDAVA. Show some love to our donors down below in that chat. I really appreciate you guys so much for the kindness. Now back to you. I actually have a question for you, sir. You did take an oath. You said that you were in the Army, right?
Yes.
And that you took an oath to uphold our Constitution, right?
Yes.
Does this mean that you never support anybody or organization/entity that would serve as a threat to the Constitution?
Yes, that would mean that, yes.
Okay. If Biden called for the termination of all the rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, do you believe that Biden would be a threat to the Constitution?
Can you elaborate?
That was the elaboration. That he called for the termination of all
say
rules.
That again. I lost as soon as you said it.
If Biden called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those in the Constitution, would you classify Biden as a threat to the Constitution for that reason?
I don't know, honestly.
Bro. Brain.
I really don't.
You don't know?
No, I don't, because
he's calling for its termination. Of course, that'd be a threat to the Constitution.
Calling for the termination of the Constitution? Of course I call that a threat to it.
Okay, so if Biden did that, then you'd say Biden's a threat to the Constitution, right?
Right.
Right, and you agree that you wouldn't support a threat to the Constitution. Should that be enough reason for you to never support Biden?
Yeah, I would say so.
So what have I told you that's something that Trump has actually done? In December of 2022, Donald Trump literally and explicitly called for the termination of, quote unquote, all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Now, the very obvious logical implication would be here, is that for this reason, you have enough reason to never support Trump. Meaning that you wouldn't be MAGA.
I mean, if he actually said that, yeah, I wouldn't support him.
Yeah, he said this December of 2022.
I'm going to look it up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure. Just type in Donald Trump calls for the termination of the Constitution, December 2022, and go to images. And thank you for the motorcycle. I appreciate that. If you're one of the, let's see here, 15,000 people watching and you'd like to support me, if you're over on YouTube, you can find my PayPal and my temporary Venmo in the pin message in the comment section, as well as if you're on TikTok, you can find it in the link tree in my bio. While he's looking that up, because we all want him to, I'd also like to quickly thank a handful of people over on Venmo. Let's see here, Brandy, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Caitlin with the $20 as well. Crystal with the $20. So Brandy, Caitlin, and Crystal, guys, thank you so much. As well as Katie with a 10, Jamie with a 10, Caitlin with a 10, and then Jenny with a $50. That is Geni. They say, we've lost a lot of children here. Please let people know that we were gerrymandered in Texas, and most of us did not vote for this admin. Yeah, Texas is gerrymandered to all hell. I'm really sorry about that, Jenny, and thank you for the $50. As well as Emily with a $75 over on Venmo. They say, love you, Dean. Keep up the good fight. Emily, I love you too. Thank you so much for your kindness. Show some love to Emily down below. And then Daniel with the $50. Holy fuck, you guys. Daniel says, keep up the good work in educating the MAGA cultists. What you're doing gives me hope. Thank you, Daniel. As well as Jenny again with the $10 and Brenna with the 10. I do really appreciate you guys for the love over on Venmo. You guys are literally awesome. Show some love to all of our donors down below in that chat. You guys are the best. Now back to you, sir. Were you able to find a screenshot of his post on Truth Social?
I'm watching the video now.
You don't even need to watch a video. You just like go to images and look at it. Okay, but
I
honestly,
don't like videos.
okay, you need a video. Okay, it was just okay, whatever. That's fine. All right, I'm not gonna push back. We're just gonna get another Trump supporter up here. In the meantime, while he's watching a video about a tweet. Okay. What's up, Alyssa? You support Trump? Okay, Alyssa's not here, so we're gonna go and move on to the next guest. For some reason, that concept is so funny to me. That concept is so fucking funny to me. Why is that concept so funny to me? Watching a video about a tweet. I'm like, you don't need to watch a video. Just look. He's like, no, I like the. Okay. All right. It's fine. Let's go and move on to the next guest. Here we go, everyone. Just give us a minute to get that next Trump supporter up in here. If you happen to be one of the 12,000 people watching over on TikTok, go to drop a MAGA with your age down below in that chat. We'll get you pulled up here. And what is going on, Mango? Do you support Trump?
Oh, wait. I didn't mean to request. My bad, Dean.
No worries, bro. Don't worry about it. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got Real White Tea. Load it up into the box. Here we go, yo. Make sure that we're double tapping on TikTok and drop a like over that YouTube stream. Y'all already know while we're loading this next guest up in here. What's going on, Real YT? Do you support Trump? And they're not here, quite frankly. Okay, at this point, we're honestly just going to start going and pulling from that comment section. So if you're watching and you'd like to come up and debate, let me know down below. We'll get you pulled up here. And Gene, thank you for the $35 donation over on PayPal saying keep up the great work. Gene, that is incredibly kind of you, man. Thank you so much for the love, Gene. Show some love to Gene down below in that comment section, literally right now, for the $35 donation. Gene, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your kindness as well as your generosity. Thank you for the $35, Gene, Jean. Welcome in, Alex. Do you support Trump? Alex, you said in the chat that you wanted me to get you up here. Now you are up here and you're already leaving the live. Come on, man. Don't get stage fright now. Hey, what's going on, man? You support Trump?
Yeah, no, I don't, mate.
You do or you don't?
Don't.
They don't. Well, we're just looking for people that do. Come on, y'all. Go ahead and put a MAGA down below in that comment section. If you want to, come up here. Oh, we got to invite this guy real quick. We gotta get this guy up here. We gotta get this guy up here. Oh, welcome back, Jacob.
Yeah, there's no video.
Well, of course there's no video because there's a tweet.
So, a tweet? Oh, you didn't say that.
I did. I said it was posted on Truth Social.
Okay.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine. Just go back to your research, man. No pressure, man. No pressure. We'll get somebody else up here in the meantime. We got Edward Letterman. Yo, my inspirational revelations. We'll just call you revelations.
Cookie King mogs you, buddy. Cookie King mogs you.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Cookie King mogs you.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Moving on to the next guest. All right. You know who mugs you? Your mother, because she rejected you staying on the Xbox past 8 p.m. Okay. Revelations. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. They say, hey, Dean, I keep hearing from the MAGA cultists that they want the undocumented immigrants to be here legally. Well, if you move to another country like Canada, for instance, that would be okay if the rules were to become a citizen. Yeah, so Canada has some amnesty. So it's crazy because, yeah, you will be able to get the MAGA cultists to concede that mass amnesty is a good thing sometimes, even though that contradicts everything that Trump is doing. To make it make sense, bro. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. We got them loading in. And then also, Melissa, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal saying, please read this. Hi, Dean. Thank you for always being here during the scary times. Oh, thank you for the love, Melissa. Show some love to Melissa for the 15 down below. As well as Amanda with a 5. Thank you, Amanda. And then Abigail with the $25 over on PayPal. I did read your message. We will talk about that in a bit. I agree with that, and I will get around to that. Thank you so much for the $25, Abigail. Show some love to Abigail down below in that chat. As well as Elizabeth. Thank you for the $35 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Elizabeth. Guys, show some love to Elizabeth down below. That is an incredibly kind and generous donation. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth asks a good question here, saying, what are some things I could do as an individual to make the change in these times? I feel helpless. First and foremost, a lot of people feel helpless. Absolutely. I'd say the best thing that you could be doing to make a change in these times is just to be inspiring people to do their research, to be critical thinkers, and to inspire intellectualism. What is going on, LL? Do you support Trump?
Yes. 1 second. My kids.
No
Go watch
worries.
them.
Do you have
Do
you have another parent to watch after the kid? Is the kid going to be okay?
Yeah. I have 3 kids.
I'm going to go and leave you to watch over the kids, man. I'm not going to lie. We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go. We're trying to find one Trump supporter to come up here and talk to us. We got Matt loaded in. Maybe Matt will debate us. Everyone just give us a minute, y'all. All right. What's going on, Mr. Matt? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Phenomenal. What year were you born in?
2005.
All right, awesome.
November.
Before we hop into our debate, real quick, Cryptic, thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Holy shit, man. Thank you for the $50, Cryptic. Let's get 500 Cryptic W's down below before we hop into this debate with Matt. Seriously, thank you so much for the love, Cryptic. As well as V, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat. And take it away, Matt. Why do you support Trump?
I just like what he's doing.
Like what, buddy?
Kamala was doing.
Kamala is how you pronounce her name. All right, what's one bad thing that Kamala Harris ran on? Let's start there. How about that?
I don't know. Just she copied Trump with some of the things that he done.
That was super bad. Are you talking about like no tax on tips?
Yeah.
First of all, even if she did copy Trump, I think that's great because basically whoever won the election could have ensured that their constituents would have had no tax on tips. And honestly, you should be happy that she copied Trump because if she won, then that wouldn't have been thrown in a bill that like cut 17 million people off of health care. And then also on the second point now, that is a policy that actually also was preached by Bernie back in 2014. So this means that Trump would have copied Bernie. But if the biggest issue with Kamala Harris is that she ran on no tax on tips, and the biggest issue with Trump is maybe like sentencing an immigrant to be beaten and tortured or raping a woman. I mean, I obviously see where your priorities lie. I think that they're very confused.
Are you saying that because of Alligator Alcatraz?
I actually don't know too much about Alligator Alcatraz. I'm talking about Abrigo Garcia.
Okay.
He was like literally beaten, tortured in CCOT.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Right. So do you want to try again to give us a bigger issue with Kamala Harris? Because if seriously, if your biggest issue with Kamala Harris was that she ran on no tax on tips, like, I don't know.
No, it's not my... No, I don't know. I'm not really prepared for this. I don't know. I just hopped in.
No worries, man. Maybe something like Trump is doing that you do like?
Definitely the deportation and the border.
Okay, well,
he definitely held his word on that.
We spent like an hour and a half talking about
that
this.
all the time. I know.
Yeah, but deportation bad because it hurts the economy and bad for the human rights of undocumented immigrants.
Could you give me an example on how it hurts the economy?
Sure. $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion off of our GDP per year, according to the Center on American Progress. That's a productivity that we lose with mass deportation.
I know. Well, Dean, you'll be happy to know that you're right.
Oh, Matt, I actually got to keep you on hold here. So you said, well, Dean, you'd be happy to know that you're right. So you're no longer a Trump supporter?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you did.
But you did say that.
You did. Earlier you said if Donald Trump said this, that you want to support Trump.
That actually kind of pisses me off, low-key.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, bro. It's been violated in the Constitution, too.
Then again, to be honest with you, and just let me tell you what my brain is, and you can tell me how stupid I am or whatever you want. But to me, that's anybody.
What?
That's anybody. I mean...
I don't even know what that said. I don't know what that means.
So, I mean, think about it. We haven't really truly lived under the Constitution for years. I mean...
Yeah, we lived under it for 4 years under Biden.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, yeah. What did he do that was unconstitutional? Tell me. I'll help. He advocated for student loan forgiveness. His first policy agenda to do so was ruled as unconstitutional by SCOTUS. Biden's response to that was to say, okay, I'll find another way to do it that isn't unconstitutional. That's what presidents are supposed to do. That is how the check/balance of SCOTUS is supposed to operate.
Oh my God. If you hear a noise in the background, that's my spouse.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you have any input here, Mr. Jacob?
No, I don't. Let me get off here. You've worn me out for the day.
Okay, Jacob. Thank you for your time.
Good talking to you. It's a friendly conversation. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
I don't critically of you. I appreciate the good talk.
Mm-hmm. I really hope that you could, stay true to your word because you did say if Donald Trump did that, you'd stop supporting him. So keep that in mind. From this moment forward, if you continue to be a Trump supporter, you are a hypocrite. That is true. Now, Matt, back to you. Feel free to unmute that mic, man. We can hop back into the discussion. I want to continue to speak to you about why you support Trump and what he's doing that you like. We left off on a note where you were telling me, or more so asking me, what the negative outcomes of mass deportation were. I was like, hey, it really hurts the GDP, $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year, and we haven't gotten your response yet. So I want to give you an opportunity now to respond. But before I do really quickly, I also want to thank Edward for the $25 donation over on PayPal. Now, Edward did not leave a message, so there's nothing to read. But Edward, I just want to let you know, man, I really do appreciate you for your love. And if everybody down below in that chat could show some love to Edward, that would be great. As well as Sydney, thank you for the $30 over on Venmo 7 minutes ago. Show some love to Sydney down below. Sydney says, thanks for all the work you do. Your live gives me hope. I live in a house with Trump voters, and it's rough. Thank you for creating this space. Oh, I know all about living in a house with Trump supporters. I actually got kicked out of one of those. Thank you for the love, Sydney. As well as Eric with the $10. Thank you for the love. Gabby with the $10. Thank you for the love. And Diana with a $15. Thank you for the love. Diana says, thank you for the education and advocacy. Diana, you are great. Thank you for the love. Show some love to our donors down below in that chat while we give the mic back to Hunter. Take it away, man.
Hunter.
Sorry,
Hello?
Matt. I don't know where I got
Hello?
Hunter from.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. I don't know why I called you Hunter.
All
I
right.
like to say Matt.
What was the question?
Well, you told me that you supported deportations, and I was like, deportation's bad because economy and humanitarian concerns. You asked me, what are the negative economic implications of mass deportation? Then I was like, it really hurts our GDP.
So would it not give more jobs to American citizens?
Well, if we lay off a massive portion of our workforce, you could say hypothetically there'd be more jobs that American citizens could work. It doesn't really justify the massive layoffs, though. Like, we're not typically happy when Intel fires 10,000 of their employees because there's more job opportunities for Americans.
Yeah, but so you're in favor of keeping all of the illegal immigrants here?
Yeah, I think that as long as they don't have prior violent offenses, they should be offered residency or citizenship, yeah.
But the legal way, right?
That would be the legal way. It'd be mass amnesty.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this,
What
man?
about,
Honestly, I posted a video that's 5.5 minutes long on my TikTok account going over why I don't support mass deportation. It's a great informative video. I would honestly direct you to that video for any of your questions, comments, or concerns about immigration. I've just been talking about it for about 2 hours. I was kind of thinking maybe there's some other things we could talk about.
You want to talk about Willie Brown?
Ooh, do you think
Wanna
Kamala
talk
Harris
about
slept,
Willie
do you
Brown?
think that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top?
Yeah, I do.
No,
She slept her way to the top.
Dude, no, come
Only
on. Dude,
Only reason.
Matt, that's crazy. Come on, that's so sexist.
How is that sexist?
Because you're saying that this woman just so happens to be a woman. The only reason she was in a
you don't
powerful
gotta go
position
there.
was because she's had sex with men. You've never said that about a man. That's evidently misogyny. But give me the argument. Why do you think that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top?
Yeah, she just slept her way to the top. That's all I know.
How do you know that? What is the reason that I should have to believe this? Convince me that the 3 million votes she got in her run for the DA of San Francisco, and then the 15 million votes that she got on her run for the AG of the state of California, and then the 40 million votes that she got on her run for the senator of California, was only because she had sex with men. Please tell me.
Yeah, because she was in that position because she slept with him.
You have slept with who?
Willie Brown.
Willie Brown. Okay, let me ask you a question. Who was Willie Brown?
He was a guy.
He was a guy, and what did he do?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know. So he was an ex-mayor of San Francisco. Let me ask you a question. What state do you live in?
PA.
Pennsylvania. Name like 3 or 4 cities in your state.
We got Lebanon, we got Reading, and we got Berks.
Okay. Who's the mayor of Reading?
The mayor?
Yeah.
The mayor of Reading? Yeah, I got no idea.
What about the Berks, the third one?
I live in Reading.
You live in Reading, and you don't even know you're a mayor. What about a mayor of Berks?
I don't know. The election just happened.
So you can't name the mayor of any city in Pennsylvania. You can't even name the mayor of your own city, but yet you expect all of the millions of California resident citizens, California residents, to not only be able to name Willie Brown, who wasn't the current mayor of San Francisco, but was a mayor 15 years ago, and somehow associate him with Kamala Harris, and that's ultimately the motivation that they use to vote for her, not just as the DA of San Fran, but also as the AG and senator of California. And don't even get me started on how you won't be able to make any connection between this and serving as Biden's VP, then ultimately running for the presidency. Do we see there how just saying she slept her way to the top is nonsensical? It's kind of just a misogynistic talking point. Like that, you're obviously just saying that because she's a woman.
I'm not saying that because she's a woman.
Okay,
but you do got some
name-
dick suckers in your comments.
Name a man.
I see all these people commenting.
Yeah.
You got some dick suckers All these people. Look at all of them.
Okay, well,
All these dick suckers.
Way to be weird, man.
Oh, I love you, Dean. I love you, Dean.
Way to be
I
weird.
sit on your live all day and comment.
Why is it
That's
always
what
like?
you got,
Why is it always
bro.
like these young conservative men who are like, I'm gonna be weird and stop talking about sexual acts?
Oh, Dean, I love you.
Well,
Bro, you got some people just dick sucking all day.
Hey,
in
you
your
know
comment.
what? You know what? I'm literally Rumi. They just said I love you, Dean, in that chat. I love you too. I love you too. You're awesome. Tyler in that chat says that I love
Appreciate
you too,
you,
Tyler.
Loretta, and
I
for the
love
gifts.
I love
Appreciate
you
Loretta.
too, Tyler. Oh! Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on this.
That's what
Oh
you
my
do.
goodness, Grace.
That's what you do all day.
Grace, thank you so much for the $15 donation over on PayPal saying I love you, Dean. I
got
love
it,
you
bro, you
too,
got it.
Grace. Show some love to Grace down below in the comment section for not only saying that she loves
Hey,
you, but
thank you,
also for the
Doxing.
$15
Thank you, Doxing,
donation.
for the
Oh,
gifts.
how do you feel
Thank you,
about
Doxing, for the gifts.
how do you feel about that one, Matt? Grace just sent me $15 on PayPal just to say that she loves me. How does that make you feel?
You know, I'm kind of proud of you. You're getting your bag off this. I'm not gonna lie. You're getting a bag. So,
Do you want to go back to the debate? After I thank
Not
Z
really.
for the $5
Nah, I just-
over on PayPal for the
I just wanted to troll.
for saying that
Not
I love
gonna
you,
lie.
and then also Rebecca, I love you too. Thank you for the $10 donation over on PayPal. He just wants to troll. Well, it didn't work out, man. Have a good rest of your day. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We're gonna go to get that next Trump supporter loaded into the live. That guy was pretty unserious. He started crashing out once he lost the debate. Abigail, okay, Abigail, I can't read that message, but thank you for the $10 donation over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. I'm not gonna read that message though. And then Courtney, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying you give me faith in humanity, so thank you. Thank you for the love, Courtney. And then Becky with the $5. Thank you so much for the love. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Java? Do you support Trump?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going
I
on?
sort of do. I used to, but now I don't. I'm not gonna lie.
A based? Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna kick you off the live so damn quick, and you should take that as a really big compliment, okay? All right, you should take that as a compliment. I'm proud. I'll say it. I'm proud of you, bro. Good for you. That is really quite frankly awesome of you. Great. We're gonna move on to the next Trump supporter after we thank Olivia for the $75 donation over on PayPal. And the message, Olivia's message is just like literally like 10 baby bottle emojis. You know? Hey, Olivia, thank you for the love. You are phenomenal. Show some love to Olivia down below in that chat, everybody. Thank you for the $75. Let's see at least 1,000 Olivia W's while we're working on getting that next guest up in here. What's going on, Bray and Jaden? Do you guys support Trump? Okay, Bray's moaning for some strange reason. What about you, Jaden? Do you support Trump?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry for the tattoo thing the other day. I came up here and scared you by showing you my tattoo. I think that was gonna do something else. I'm sorry.
You did scare me. I remember you. You scared the shit out of me. But hey, man, cool tattoo, Jaden. Cool tattoo. We're gonna move on to the next guest, everybody. Yeah, no, I do remember you. You scared the fuck out of me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You scared me quite badly. But yeah, let's move on to the next guest. We got Dryden loading up in the box. Also, Owen, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Owen. Show some love to Owen down below in the comment section for the $20. What is going on, Dryden? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, on some of his like things that he agrees with. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, before we hop into our debate, holy crap, I gotta thank Christian for the $300 donation over on PayPal. Dude, Christian, you're crazy, man. Thank you for the love, man. That is insane. I have said this so many times, and I'll repeat it now. I do not deserve that. That is that is so much money, dude. That's unreal. I want everybody and everybody's grandma to spam some Christian W's in all of the live chats for the $300 donation over on PayPal, where we're hopping into this next guest. Seriously, man. Thank you so much for the love. You were so incredibly kind. Thank you so much. But hey, man, go ahead and take it away, Drayden. Why do you support Trump?
Okay. First of all, abortion, immigration.
Okay.
Those are 2 reasons. And then
I'm banning immigration for now. We've talked about it for like 2 hours. So
Okay.
abortion.
Yeah, I have some questions though first about you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, so do you think people can change?
I think people can change. Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you said the N-word, right, and we're making videos about being like a millionaire and like flexing your money, do you think that was okay or no?
No, I don't think that was okay.
And how long ago was that?
I don't know. Just go check the timestamps. Why are we re-asking old questions?
Because don't you think Trump could change from the things he said in the past, bad things he could say?
So let me ask you a question. Did you just say, do I think people can change, or do I think that all people do change? Because that is
No,
the
it can't
equivocation. That is the equivocation that you're making. Do I think that Trump, like every other human, is capable of change? Yes. Has Donald Trump changed? Absolutely fucking not.
But how do you know that
Failed
personally? Like
argument.
how? No one would have known that you said that if it wasn't publicly. So no one would have known you changed unless you got called out for it.
Ah, well, that's
So
not
how do
true
you think
because I was posting announcements in my Discord like 10 months before that happened, talking about how I used to use slurs. And like, honestly, man, like, you know, the change in me, my character, and who I am today is a big reason why I do what I do, dude. Like, I'm not just doing this for nothing. I'm doing this because I know that individuals are capable of change with an exposure to reason, fact, and logic, and a better understanding of their racist or bigoted societalization. And I think that's a really important thing for this country. I think that's a really important thing for this world. And then you asked me that last question. Well, how do I know that Trump hasn't changed? Well, it's because he wasn't just denying, home ownership to black renters in the 70s, calling all black people lazy in the 90s, or telling people not to vote for Obama because he was black, essentially, in the late aughts and early 10s. But he's never taken accountability for any of these things. He's never retracted any of these things. He's never apologized for any of these things. And he's only continued to reiterate similar sentiments by defunding HBCUs, basically turning DEI into a slur, or saying that we could profile immigrants and tell if they're good or bad based upon the way they look.
Okay, I can agree with you on that. I just wanted to know how you thought about that. And then another reason is transgenders in sports. So do you want to talk about abortion first or transgenders in sports?
TikTok TOS has become incredibly restrictive. I don't even know if we could talk about trans people. You might just get hit with a hate speech ban. For a while we could, but they're back to being heavily restricted. So I don't know about that. But about abortion, let's talk about that. Are you pro-life?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. No, dude. So why do you think that abortion should be banned? Give me every reason.
I just don't think it's okay to kill like a baby or an innocent like life.
Okay.
That could be.
So why is it wrong to kill babies? Wrong to kill fetuses.
Because they have a future life.
They have a future life. So what is it in their future that you find so valuable? that you find so valuable?
The things that they can contribute to society.
Contributions to society? So if you're saying that there's a fetus that we know won't contribute much to society in their future, that abortion's justified in that circumstance?
No, because I know Down syndrome people that still contribute to society.
I don't know like why we're bringing up like individuals with Down syndrome.
Because you just said less contribution. That's what you said.
My question was, if there was a fetus and we had a crystal ball and we just knew when they grew up they wouldn't contribute much to society, would it be okay for that mother to turn around and abort that fetus?
And what I just said about Down syndrome people, no, because they don't contribute.
Your response was to say that Down syndrome people still contribute to society. Okay, A, I didn't specify people with Down syndrome. That's insane. And B, I particularly specified a fetus who we knew would grow up and not contribute anything. Like maybe it's like the next Columbine school shooter or something like that.
I mean, we don't know that, but so no.
Oh, okay. All right. So we don't know that. So you're saying that it is not future contributions to society that make getting an abortion wrong. So then what is it that makes getting an abortion wrong?
Like I said, killing a baby.
Okay. And then why is it wrong to kill a fetus?
Because like I already said, it can live. It's going to have a life.
It can live. It is going to have a life. Well, it's already biologically alive.
So then why would you kill it if it's already biologically alive?
Because I don't think that something being biologically alive necessitates the conclusion that it's wrong to kill it. Every time we brush our teeth, we kill 400 trillion microbial life forms that are biologically alive. I'm guessing that both you and me are not vegans. I've been pissing a lot of vegans off recently. My bad, folks. We don't think it's necessarily too wrong to kill a cow, a pig, or a chicken, right? I mean, we could walk down this all day. Are you saying that maybe it's wrong to kill that fetus because it's not just alive, but it's also human?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you a question. Is it murder?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Is it murder?
I mean, yeah.
So now we know that it's murder to kill humans that are alive. So would you say doctors that work in the brain dead units in their hospitals that pull the plugs off of hundreds or thousands of brain dead patients per year, ending their human biological life, are they mass murderers?
No, because that person has no future consciousness, no ability to have future consciousness.
Oh, so then
They're
it is
never
not
gonna
the
have another
human life
future
that you
consciousness.
value. It is future consciousness that you value.
Yeah, I said both. I said that earlier too, also. So I don't know
No,
why
okay, well, I'm
saying that. I
fine.
said that earlier.
Whatever, I'll grant it to you. That's not what I picked up on. So if it's
Did I say that
future-
earlier? Yes or no?
So you ran an argument saying that you value traits in its future, like providing to society. I kind of drilled that argument down into nothing because you said that you'd still value it if it didn't contribute to society, and then you switched to the human and alive arg. But now we're back to the valuing future consciousness. Can we agree that a zygote has future consciousness?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So under your view, thereby be murder to kill a zygote?
If it's in a human, because if it's in a pregnant lady, yeah.
Oh, dear goodness gracious. So
All the
women...
your other argument about millions of zygotes getting
women's
slapped
with
around, that doesn't make
IUDs.
sense because they're not going to have a future.
So
they're not going to be pregnant.
So women with IUDs, that's a form of birth control that's supposed to prevent conception, but sometimes also allows for conception and prevents implantation into the uterine lining once the zygote already exists, killing the zygotes. You'd say that women with IUDs that know what these IUDs do, that they have the potentiality to kill zygote, are sexually active and they do kill zygotes. Or would you consider them murderers?
No, not right now because it's not illegal. But I don't think that they should have those kind of IUDs. No.
Okay, well then you'd say that abortion isn't murder in states where it's not illegal.
Yeah, I know, but I'm fighting for it. Like I want it to be illegal.
So would you say that women should be considered murderers if they have an IUD that kills a zygote moments after conception before it even implants into the uterine lining?
Yeah, if it was made future legally, yeah. Illegal, yeah.
Would you say that all murderers should go to jail?
I mean, it just depends on the stance on what's happening.
I mean, I'd say that regardless of what the instance of murder was, all murder is sufficiently wrong enough to warrant jail time, right?
No, because in some states, if someone robs your house, they're threatening to kill you, and you kill them, some states don't have standard ground law. So you still think those people should go to jail for murder?
Well, I would say if it was self-defense, it wasn't murder. So I wouldn't classify
But
that
in
as
some
murder.
states, it is, though. Some states, you don't have standard ground laws.
But we're talking about what should be the case. And in discussing what should be the case, I could point out that I merely disagree with what is the case by arguing that particular stand your ground laws are not self-defense.
Might say that again, sorry. I was reading the comments about people were saying.
I'm just saying that if it's self-defense, it's not murder.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So would you say, well, what if it's not one of these scenarios where like it might be self-defense and like just straight up the killing of an innocent human life with a future just like ours? That's murder. You agreed to that. Should those people all go to jail?
I don't know. It just depends.
Well, I feel like you're just
Once
saying,
again,
I don't know.
everything
it
has
just
its
depends.
own scenario.
I feel like you're just saying
Everything
I
has
don't
their
know,
own
just-
scenario.
I feel like you're saying I don't know. It just depends to be like intentionally vague. Like I feel like we could agree that like typically murderers should go to jail, but for whatever you don't want to make that concession because if you do make that concession, well then you'd know that you'd be arguing here that women with IUDs that kill zygotes should be imprisoned, and that's completely absurd. That's the reason why I feel like you're unwilling to further this conversation and be clear about if murderers should or shouldn't go to jail. It's because if you are clear and you do say they should go to jail, well then all of a sudden you're saying that women with IUDs that kill zygotes should be imprisoned. I didn't mute him, by the way. That's
Sorry, I lagged there.
No worries, man. No worries, man. Not at all. Christopher, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for that love. As well as Laura, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. I want to see 500 Laura W's down below in that chat. Laura says, thank you, Dean, for always educating all of us, especially MAGA Maggots. I appreciate you for that love, Laura. Incredibly kind message and also incredibly kind donation. Show some love to Laura down below. And then also Heaven, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal, and Jacqueline with the 10. And then Heaven, I did just read your message there about pregnancy through grape. Do you think that victims of grape should be able to access abortion given that they get pregnant as a result of that grape?
Yeah, that's the one thing I actually think that should be okay because I think that's a heinous thing.
Okay, great. I'm happy that you agree with that consideration. But now I've been able to demonstrate the absurdity in your view elsewhere, because you're saying that you would value a life based upon its future capabilities. We would agree that a zygote would have these future capabilities, so thereby you would have to consider it to be murder to kill a zygote with the use of like birth control. So thereby you'd say that like some women that are sexually active on some forms of birth control should be considered murderers. I just think that's absolutely insane. Not to mention that the additional implications of the view here would be that you would say that these individuals probably should go to jail in the future. I don't think that you'd be able to find any articulatable reason why these murderers shouldn't be able to go to jail. You know, like maybe you'd be able to point out scenarios where like it might be self-defense. They shouldn't go to jail. They might have not known. Well, that doesn't apply because, you know, we're implying women here that do know what an IUD does. Do you have any reason in your view to say that these women with IUDs that kill zygotes who you classify as murderers are not people that should go to jail?
Yeah, I don't think they should go to jail right now. No,
I
think they shouldn't go to jail right now.
Wait, why?
Because right now it's not illegal. Like right now they think it's okay.
Oh yeah, well
I think in the future I'm pushing
exactly.
towards.
We're talking about.
Said that.
We're talking about what should happen in the future. So would you say what should happen in the future?
Well, in the future, I think it should be banned. Yeah.
With that women, well, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if they should go to jail for murder.
In the future, like if it was illegal.
Yeah, if you were dictator of America.
In the future, if it was illegal, yes.
If you were dictator of America, would you make it illegal, and would you sentence women who still have IUDs engaged in intercourse to go to jail for murder?
No, not right now, because if they already have it, then
I literally just said
when they get it taken out, yes, then they know.
I literally just said in the future, bro. Should they go to jail for murder?
Yes, in the future, if it was made illegal and they did it, I think they should go to jail, yes.
Right, yeah, saying that women with some forms of birth control that are sexually active should go to jail for 25 to life for murder is fucking crazy.
How can't they take the other form of birth control then? Why can't they take the other form?
That's not what we're discussing. I honestly, if like you want to argue perspective,
you just said in the future, if I was a dictator, I could make my own laws, right?
Like maybe you could argue the perspective that given like your pro-life position here, like maybe women should use other forms of birth control. Like that's so crazy. Like I still disagree with that, but that's not as crazy as saying that you think that women that are sexually active with IUDs should go to jail for 25 to life for murder. That's what is insane. Can we agree that's absolutely insane?
I'll concede on that point then, yeah.
All right. Well, that's why you shouldn't argue this pro-life position, because it entails conclusions that you have now conceded to being absolutely insane.
I have a question about your stance, though. You said that consciousness in one of your debates with Hayden, I'm pretty sure. Is that who you debated? Hayden before?
Debated Hayden before. I'll let you ask this question, then I'm going to move on because you did just concede your position.
Okay. You said that about consciousness, but don't pigs have the same consciousness as a 2-year-old?
So now you're basically saying that, well, maybe my view would entail like pro-vegan ethics. So you might be right, you might be wrong. Right now, I am agnostic on vegan ethics. In the past, I did declare myself as an individual that held to affirm vegan ethics. And the reason that I'm agnostic on vegan ethics is because I think that there might be some absurdities entailed via it. I'm pretty sympathetic to them, though. I think that maybe right now vegans would disagree with that because I think I'm terrible, because I was arguing the other day that there's some like crazy implications of valuing a pig just as much as a human, which I do think there are. And if that would be an issue with my normative beliefs, that's going to be an issue with my normative moral beliefs as it relates to like placing value on a pig or a cow, not an issue as it relates to my normative beliefs of not placing value on a fetus. So you might be right, you might be wrong. I think about that frequently.
Okay, good talk. Sorry I wasn't very ready for your talk.
No, man, appreciate you for the convo. That guy was decently good faith. He ended up conceding his view. We don't see that often, but we're going to move on to the next guest, Brenna. If you happen to be one of the 12.2 thousand people watching the stream on TikTok, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen, y'all, and also hop in that queue if you do support Trump. What's going on, Brenna? Do you support Trump?
Oh my gosh. I swear I did not hit request.
No worries at all. Go ahead and put a MAGA with that chat down. Go ahead and put a MAGA in that chat with your age. If you want to come up here, memes are us. I did send you an invite to the live. You said I constantly lose faith in men. If that was in reference to me, feel free to accept that request. Honestly, I'm just now realizing that that's possibly in reference to the guest that we had up. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We're just looking for a Trump supporter to come up here and debate y'all. It is very hard to find them. Yo, what's up? Memes are us. Was that in reference to me or the guest? when you said that you were
It was
losing.
in reference to the guest, man, not you. You're the
Hey,
man.
based, bro. Honestly, sorry. I realized that it could have been in reference to the guest, like as soon as you sent it. Appreciate you. I agree. Absolutely awesome. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We got Blake Buckets loading up into the live right now. Hopefully Blake Buckets is MAGA. And by the way, if you want to support me because you enjoy these streams, you enjoy what we talk about, you can find my PayPal and my Venmo in the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over there. They'll go straight to me. As well as you can support me over on YouTube Super Chat. But if you are watching on YouTube, I'd first recommend PayPal or Venmo because you get 100% of those proceeds compared to like 30 on YouTube. Anyways, what's going on, Mr. Blake? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
22.
Why do you support the worst president of your life?
Because you made me support him.
How do I make you support Trump?
With how much you lie.
Oh, how much I lie. Go ahead and name 5 lies that I've told.
You make me support Trump with seeing how much brain rot you put into my brain about your Harris. Makes me want to vote for Trump.
Yeah, name 5 lies I've told.
Can't recall it.
Name 1 lie I've told.
Can't recall it.
Yeah, beautiful, bro. The only brain rot I see is you. Like, honestly, if you're going to say that the only reason you support the president or like a presidential candidate, regardless if they're good or bad, is purely because of some white boy on TikTok that you hate so much, please go outside, touch some grass, gain some life experience, get some friends, maybe find a life partner, and spark your relationship with your parents.
I think you're funny, dude. I'll tell you actually why I support Trump, So, I think he was like, and
I'm going to find somebody that's not a troll. For the 11.5K people in the TikTok stream, guys, make sure that we're double tapping. We're going to get that next guest, Ali, up here. We are just looking for some Trump supporters to talk to, as well as Monique. Thank you so much for the $30 over at PayPal, Monique. Thank you so much for the love. Let's get 300 Monique W's down below. Monique says, for fighting for human rights and for being such an inspiration for everybody. I love you, Dean. Oh, I love you too, Monique. That is an incredibly kind message, and thank you so much for your words and the $30 donation. You are awesome. As well as Pia, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal, and Christopher the 5. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Ali?
Hell no. I love you, Dean.
Base, that's awesome. Appreciate that. Guys, please make sure that you're only hopping in the queue if you're a Trump supporter. If we could follow the rules here, we can have some productive conversations on the live, and that's honestly what we're looking for. So please only join in the queue if you're actually a Trump supporter. I, once again, would really, really appreciate it if you guys could follow those rules. It makes my head spin when I don't have people following these rules. So please, please, please respect them. We are going to get that next guest up in the box. Go to put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up here right now, everybody. What's going on, Jamie? Do you support
It's kind of gross, but I just had like the longest poop ever. And I just had the long.
Okay, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't want to know what she's talking about. So we are going to quickly kick her. What the heck? What a bad time to be accepted into the live unknowingly. I almost feel bad for her. Yeah, nobody talk. I seriously feel bad. Just forget that. I feel bad for her. Like, if I was in her shoes, yeah, we're going to move on to the next guest. Be kind. I feel bad for her. All right, everybody. We got Toddy Tot loaded into the stream, guys. Seriously, just looking for one Trump supporter. What's up? Do you support Trump? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not here. Still not finding any Trump supporters. What is it? What is it with the Trump supporters today, y'all? I swear, they're so scared of me. Let me tell you, they're so scared of me. What's up? Do you support Trump? Baggy eyes, I'm going to give you 5 seconds, just like the last guest.
Hello. I honestly wasn't expecting to like be added on. Hello.
Hey, whoa, what's up? Are you British?
I would happen to be, yes, my friend.
Sorry, man. The 3 rules are simple. Got to be at least 18. Got to be an American and have to support Trump. You know what? At this point, I'm going to go and start accepting requests from the comment section. So if you are a Trump supporter that wants to skip that line and come right back and come onto the live, let me know down below by dropping a MAGA. We'll get you loaded in. All right. We see Hi and Bailey. What's going on, Bailey? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
That would be a child. What about you, Hi? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 48 years old.
Biggest troll ever. Okay, so it looks like we just got a couple trolls there, everybody. I think we got a couple trolls there, everybody. No trolls, y'all. No trolls. What are we doing? Moving on to the next guest. Guys, go and drop a MAGA down below with your age. Right now. Going to drop a right now. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, phenomenal. What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, great. So go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
I agree with his stance on abortion. And
okay, we just had an abortion debate for like the last
yeah,
hour,
I
so
know.
unfortunately, is there
I
anything else
heard
you want to
that.
talk about?
No, not really. You're good.
Okay. All right, everybody. Hop back in that queue. I might end up bringing you back up. It's just been like the same two things all day: abortion and immigration. It's been pretty rough. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Hello. Hey, so yeah, I just wanted to say, man, I did vote for Trump, and after this big beautiful bill passed, man, I feel very fucking stupid, man, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like most of the country just got fucking manipulated and this stuff. And a quick thing on the abortion, we can talk about other stuff, but I used to be pro-life until I realized, bro, like, if I am against abortions, that should not outweigh the fact that some people fucking need them. You know what I mean? There's people out there that do need abortions. My opinion on whether a fetus should live or die should not matter in the full thing. Yep, go ahead.
Test.
Yep.
Okay, I had to kick you out because there's an echo on your mic. But man, good for you. I'm really happy that you're no longer a Trump supporter. That's really happy to hear. Welcome to the right side of history, y'all. Seriously, oh man, good for you. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Good for you. Oh, look at it, Twitter. It looks like somebody has now posted a picture of my old house. Looks like Twitter's now starting to dox me. Dude, damn, bro, Twitter's going crazy. Let's see here. Oh, now we got Dean Withers as a pro-child abuser. What else do we got? We got a lot. So yeah, everybody, I think that we all watched the conversation with the wife of the man that has sparked this whole conversation earlier. We went over how their views are evil. I mean, she was straight up here like telling us that it was a business transaction to have Donald Trump look at the naked bodies of 13-year-olds and how the husband thinks that the parents can consent for their children, that it's legal, and that he can't fault Trump because it's legal. And how I also think that my reaction on live was bad. I dropped the ball, and that there's about 1 billion better things I could have done, and that I did do that with his wife. I would really appreciate it if any of you guys happen to use Twitter frequently to please be a spreader of truth over there. I would truly ask that of you guys. It looks like the far right mob on Twitter has decided to truly take their pitchforks and raise them high in the air against me for a lot of things that are just completely false. They're painting this man as a Jesus character. We even see people associated with Destiny saying that nothing what he says was wrong because of an out of context clip. So, disseminating the facts related to what her and her husband agreed to, and I've said publicly. And then also the fact that, I agree that's not what my reaction should have been, and I could acknowledge that. And that what I should have done is just kick them like I did her wife. So, I mean, if you guys do use Twitter, feel free to spread facts over there. Be focused on what is true. That'd be great. I'd really appreciate that from you, because I'm seriously now like seeing pictures of my old house. People are trying to find out where I live, where my family lives.
That's wild.
People calling for my death. A lot of death threats here too. It's wild, everybody. But anyways, what is going on, Mr. Cake? Do you support Trump?
Hello, Dean. That was by accident. I was just listening to your thing in the background. Do your thing, bro.
I appreciate you for coming up, Mr. Cake. You're awesome. Let's go to move on to the next guest, everybody. Yeah, man. We see some crazy shit over there. It's definitely nuts. A lot of misinformation. A lot of incredibly false claims. Like now they're calling me P3DO because I care about children's safety. Yeah, that's who the right is, everybody. That's who MAGA is. And unfortunately, even some insurgents on the left, like there's some people on the left that hate me so much that now they're willing to paint this guy that said parents have the legal right to consent to their children being viewed naked by an adult, and then their wife says that it's just simply a business transaction. And then the guy says he can't fault him for it if it was legal. Then even like there's some people on the left that are like, oh, he did nothing wrong just because of the disdain that they hold for me in their heart. Absolutely crazy. I mean, the spin cycle's going, everybody. Spin cycle's going. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Commercial for
I used to support Trump because I lived with my dad and he was very much a Trump supporter. I do not anymore because the big beautiful bill, but I did have a question about what people are saying about the bill, because a lot of people are saying it won't affect people with disabilities and stuff.
Hey, well, I'm really happy.
I don't know if we...
that you don't stand with Trump, and you're right, the bill will definitely impact individuals with disabilities via the restrictive access to Medicaid. In fact, the work requirements will only impact individuals with disabilities the most. I appreciate you for coming up, but we are truly only looking for people to debate. Yeah, I even saw people on Twitter saying, like, Dean is the reason why the purge should exist. And it had, like, a couple, like, 1,000 likes. People, like literally calling for my death, saying that they want to be the one to do it, too. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Theo? We love Theo. It's been a while, man. Hope you're doing well. We love you here. You're really good at what you do in that banjo. Good for you, man. Let's go to get that next guest, K. Mary, loaded into the live. Braylon, thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal. Let's see, 300 Braylon W's down below. Braylon says, "Hey Dean, I love your pressing question. Marvel or DC? I'm more of a DC guy myself. But thank you for the love, Braylon. You were phenomenal. Actually, no, Marvel. Recent years, it's been Marvel. As well as Lauren, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. They say watching from Canada. I appreciate you for being here with us. All right, guys, we're still just looking for one singular Trump supporter. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is so hard to find anybody to come up here and debate. It's absolutely unreal.
Say goodbye. Okay.
Dude, like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Why can't we find anybody just to come up here and debate? And also Megan with a $1 over on Venmo saying Testing123. Appreciate you for that. As well as Molly with the $5 on Venmo, Michelle with a $1.50, and then Laura, dude, Miss Laura with a $50 donation over on Venmo from 5 minutes ago. Laura says, thank you for all that you do. Laura, hey man, I really appreciate you for your love, Laura. You are phenomenal. You're fantastic. Thank you so much, for your kindness. Everybody show some love to Laura down below in that comment section right now. Let's see at least 500 Laura W's. As well as Owen, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you, Owen and Laura. You guys are phenomenal. Okay, what is going on? SSALSAOD. Do you support Trump? Another bot. Okay, what do we even do in this circumstance? I'm just going to start loading everybody up, guys. Only join the queue if you support Trump. Sid, thank you so much for the $100 over on Super Chat, saying that you don't have to read what insane people write on the internet. It's okay to just disengage. Your mental health matters more than your live or content. Take a break. If you need one, seriously, we'll still be here, Sid. I appreciate you for your kindness and your very wise words. Thank you, seriously. No, thank you so much for the love. Show some love to Sid down below in that comment section. That is incredibly kind of you. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Phenomenal. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, what year are you born in?
2007.
Ash, why do you support Trump? That's a very bad thing to do. You should not be supporting Trump.
So actually, there's just a couple notable things that I do support, but in recent times, everything that's been going on, I don't support that.
Okay, so what about Trump do you support?
Specifically primarily to the pandemic, the record low for unemployment, and I am aware the Biden-Harris administration made that lower, but I think it's notable to talk about that as well.
The low level of unemployment in its first term? Well, it's not going to be notable insofar as a reason why you support Trump today, because Kamala Harris was the other candidate and she oversaw lower levels of unemployment, and be obviously Donald Trump didn't cause that.
Also, I want to talk about the USMCA and all that.
Oh, do you like the USMCA?
I just think it's important to talk about.
Are you a fan or not a fan?
See, I don't know that much about it, so I don't know if I'm
Do you think it's a good thing that Trump did or a bad thing that Trump did?
I mean, I think it better serves workers.
Okay, well, Donald Trump called the USMCA one of the worst trade deals in history.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and he was actually the one that negotiated the deal. I guess the second time around. Right. Oh. And then he turned around and called it one of the worst trade deals in history.
Yeah, I'm not. I need to do more research.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to go over?
I mean, didn't he appoint a bunch of federal judges?
Yeah, for sure. I think all presidents do that. I think Biden appointed 500 as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, let me stop. Okay.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you for the time, Ash. Hey, so no, seriously, I think that you'll find much more truth on the left. It's something that you should explore. We're going to try to get the next guest up in here right now. We really aren't finding too many Trump supporters to debate. I don't know what's in the air. It kind of looks like they're skedaddling away quite fast. The Trump supporters are not wanting to have a chat with me. It's quite embarrassing, if I may add. See, that's that rage bait that we need to get them up here. You know, if you're an American adult that supports Trump and you're not trying to join the queue, okay, you don't have a spine. See what I mean? That's what is required to get them up here. That's how we do it. And then they're still not willing to join. We have like 14,000 total viewers, by the way. I just want to put that one out there. 14,000 total viewers. It should not be difficult for me to find a Trump supporter at all. At all. Okay, what's going on the big wall in Lud? Do you guys support Trump?
I do not, but I do want to ask you a question.
I'm so sorry, man. You heard the rules. What about you, Big Walker? You MAGA? Big Walker just isn't even here. Big Walker's not doing anything. His brain cells are taking a walk out to Narnia. That's right. Moving on to the next guest. What's going on, Kyle? Do you support Trump?
Hey, am I echoing?
Nope. Do you support Trump?
Okay. I do. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and say thank you for like spitting facts, bro. But you opened up my eyes, bro. I'm not even joking. I did support Trump, but not anymore, man. And a lot of it's because you. Thank you, bro.
Dude, okay, now I am hearing that echo now, but man, that is awesome, Kyle. I'm really happy that I could open up your eyes. That is phenomenal. I think that's fantastic. Now, something that I would appreciate from maybe Kyle and people like Kyle is like hopefully because I want the ability to open up more people's eyes, and the way that I can do that is by hosting these debates, and we haven't been able to get a debate for around 30 minutes now, so I just really appreciate it if we could keep the queue just to Trump supporters. What's up, Will? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Oh, Will, no, boo, Will, no. Why do you do it? Why do you support Trump?
So I might have a different answer than other people, and I know it's something that you just talked about, but I kind of have a different stance that I don't think has been discussed recently. It's going to be back on the basis of abortion and the pro-life, pro-choice thing.
Ew.
If you don't mind hearing me out.
Oh no, we should legalize abortion in all 50 states. Federal protections are necessary. Donald Trump is really bad because he overturned Roe v. Wade, which has now led to 66 million American women and girls not having access to abortion. Absolutely detestable.
So what I was going to say to that point is I think abortion itself shouldn't be as widespread accepted as where it is now. If there comes a point in time where if you choose, have sexual intercourse and go that route and things happen, you have to kind of be held responsible and accountable for
so a woman should be accountable for a pregnancy because it was a natural consequence of an action she willingly chose to engage in.
Yes, actions have consequences.
Okay.
And that's not just
a
man.
Listen.
Let me finish here real quick, because it's not just the abortion part. I'm pro-life in the sense of pro all life. Okay. That means if you're going to make this woman have this child, if you're going to do that, which in a perfect world, yes, if you have to have support for that person as well, because there's all these different not consequences, but situations that affect that person. So say the mom can't support that child, right? And I feel bad because now I'm making her putting her in that position. You have to have better support systems in place.
I just want to give my thoughts here.
Okay.
I don't think you could be a Trump supporter and value all life, or you would have valued Abreu Garcia's. We're going to talk about that point last, though, because first we're going to talk about your argument for abortion. You said that actions have consequences. You should be obligated to deal with the natural consequence of an action that you choose to engage in. Okay? Let's see where that logic leads us. Sure, that logic leads us to the conclusion that abortion should be banned. That logic also leads us to the conclusion that if you smoke a cigarette and develop lung cancer, you should have to deal with that lung cancer because that lung cancer was a natural consequence of your action in which you willingly chose to engage in of smoking a cigarette. If your liver fails because you drink too much alcohol, well, you should have to deal with that fact. You should not be able to go to a doctor and get a liver transplant because that was the natural consequence of an action that you willingly chose to engage in. If you go outside without sunscreen, you should have to deal with any potential sun cancer or what is it called when you sunburn that you develop via the rays of the sun, because that was a natural consequence of an action that you decided to engage in. If you happen to play a sport and break a leg, you should have to deal with that because that's a natural consequence of an action that you chose to engage in. If you, become diabetic because you're eating too much sweets, that's a natural consequence of an action you chose to engage in. Thereby, you should have to deal with that consequence. Do we see how this idea that an individual should be obligated to deal with any quote-unquote natural consequence of the actions they choose to engage in is A, just absolutely insane, and B, something you only decide to enforce when it applies to abortion?
Personally, I don't think that is completely wrong. Okay, so if you let's take your sunburn example. You go outside without sunscreen. Yeah, part of you dealing with it is going to get aloe or something like that.
Okay, so then part of a woman dealing with pregnancy is getting an
If you
abortion.
sign up to play a sport and you get hurt, you know what you're getting yourself into and the potential risk beforehand. I don't feel like that's a wrong statement to think about. If you choose to do something that you know has an adverse content, again, smoking a cigarette and developing lung cancer, part of having to deal with it is continuing to go to the doctor and, seek medical treatment. That's
So if part of dealing with lung cancer developed by smoking a cigarette is going to a doctor and seeking chemotherapy to kill the life of the lung cancer, then part of dealing with a pregnancy onset via engaging in sex is going to a Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus.
I think you're taking it a step forward.
There's no difference. Like, logically speaking, if that's your only argument, there's no difference. Now, if you had like another argument to say that the fetus is valuable because it's like a human life, okay. Now we
I do agree. I do agree with that.
I mean, just standing on the argument that it's the natural outcome of an action that you chose to engage in. Like, there is no difference between saying that a woman is just as well within her rights to get an abortion after becoming pregnant as a cigarette smoker is well within their rights to get chemotherapy after developing lung cancer as a result of smoking.
I think that it is still well within the rights to do it. Do I agree? It's a hard, slippery slope, and I'll be the first to admit it because there are so many exceptions to the rule and the basis of it. I think my main point that I wanted to say and see where your thought process lied on it, because I will say I'm kind of new to seeing your content, but I've been very much to watch it and digest what you said, but I haven't heard this topic of conversation on. I think, again, if you choose to have that mindset of, anti-abortion, we're going to put air quotes around it, like fully, you have to understand what is at risk for that woman following too.
Can you respond to my critiques of your argument that you have to deal with that consequence because it happened because of an action that you engaged in? You're still not responding to my counter. You're still not responding to my counter argument. You said that they should be obligated to deal with pregnancy because it is a natural consequence of sex. Then I gave you the counter argument of showing how you don't think that a smoker is obligated to deal with lung cancer, even though it's a natural consequence of smoking. But then you respond to that by saying, well, getting chemotherapy at a doctor's office is going to be dealing with a lung cancer. So thereby, an extension of your logic would tell us that getting an abortion for a woman that's pregnant is dealing with a pregnancy. That is where we're at. What is your response?
Does that pregnancy that this person is going to Planned Parenthood to obtain harm the woman?
Well, if by harm you just mean like undesirable, obviously, right? Like the only women that are going to be getting abortions are those that are going to not desire that pregnancy.
Correct. And I feel as if that's not that shouldn't be the scapegoat for a lot of people. Not everybody's like that.
So why is it wrong to get an abortion? You're just saying that, they shouldn't do it. Okay, why? Give an argument.
The main basis of what I was trying to say this whole time is that it's a flippant excuse for somebody wanting to just not have a like not deal with real world consequences.
Dude, okay. This approach in this argument is not pro-life, it's anti-woman. You hide behind this virtue
No, it's
shield of
not.
saying that you're pro.
No,
Yes, it
it's
is.
not.
Because you're just looking at these
You
women
didn't even
who
let me
uphold different values in the context of romance, sex, and intimacy than you do. And then you say, oh, look at that. They got pregnant after engaging in sex for something other than reproduction. So thereby I'm going to punish them and turn them into a parent, which in then turn has negative consequences on the children of these people because they're shifting the family dynamic away from well-off adults that want to start a family into forcing 18, 19, 20-year-old boys and girls into becoming moms and dads because you think that the woman was irresponsible and needs to deal with that outcome of her action, even though that logic saying that you need to deal with the outcomes of your actions is completely insane because of the consequences or because of the context that I described, such as saying that, well, this would mean that if you smoke a cigarette and get lung cancer, you're going to deal with that lung cancer and die. If you drink too much alcohol and your liver goes to shit, you need to keep that liver and die. If you go outside and you develop melanoma on your nose, you can't go to a doctor. That melanoma must evolve and you must die. And you didn't have a response for that, and they left. So let's go to move on to the next guest. We got Dr. Pepper loaded up in the stream. And while we do get Dr. Pepper Lover loaded up into the stream, Ver, thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on that YouTube stream. Thank you so much for the love. That is so incredibly kind of you. Let's get 1,000 Ver W's down below. They say, I'm a 100% disabled vet. The coward in chief needs to go. Also, Trump's mom came to America illegally, in fact. I cannot tell a lie, Washington. I cannot tell the truth, Trump. I cannot tell the difference, MAGA. I don't know. Saying that Trump's mom came to America illegally, I don't know about that. I mean, I just don't have the evidence, and I'm against saying that somebody's an undocumented immigrant unless we have the evidence to justify it. But I'll take a look. But for everything else that you said, I absolutely agree, and I think that it was very well worded. Ver, thank you so much for the love. That was incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Ver down below in that comment section. Welcome in, Mr. Dr. Pepper Lover. Do you support Trump? And they're not even here. Let's go and load up the next guest. Jacqueline, thank you for the $12 over on PayPal. I do really appreciate you so much for the love, Jacqueline. That is incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Jacqueline down below while we're getting this next Trump supporter, Hugh Hudson, loaded into the live. They say, as a victim, my inner child is thanks you, Dean. You defending the kids makes me emotional. Well, Jacqueline, I appreciate you for your kind message as well as your kind donation. And I'm sorry that happened to you. Thank you for the love, Jacqueline. As well as, let's see here. Megan, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Let's shout out to Megan with the $25 down below. They say 2 things I defended you on Twitter. Also, I put in an application or a mod. Let me know if you got it. Thank you for the $25, and I'll make sure we check that out. Thank you for the love, Megan. Show some love to Megan down below while we're getting the next guest, Kat, loaded in. And then also Elizabeth with the $7. Thank you, Elizabeth. Incredibly kind. All right, what is going on? Do you support Trump, Kat?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 30 years old.
Oh, Kat. Do you happen to have any Bluetooth device connected to your phone that's making it a little bit hard to hear you? Do you want to turn off your Bluetooth? That might help. All right, well, Kat's doing that. I'd also like to thank Lily for the $10 over on Venmo. And AJ, thank you so much for the 1, and Max with the 4. If you guys want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over there, as well as you get your name and any attached message and a notification on my phone so I can read it off and give you a shout out. Appreciate you guys for the love. Same thing goes for the pinned message over the YouTube stream. Anyways, Kat, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know why you don't support Trump.
Okay, would you like my reasons why I don't support Trump worded in a doctoral thesis, a 5-paragraph essay, or 1 paragraph?
No, I don't care, because there's multiple things that, I'm part of the LGBT community, and I extremely support Trump. So...
Okay, what letter are you?
What?
What letter are you?
What letter am I? I'm a lesbian.
You're lesbian and you support Trump. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that Donald Trump has been incredibly derogatory to women. So there's one. I mean, he said that the best thing that could ever happen to a woman is pregnancy. He's a literal adjudicated rapist. He's boasted about perving on underage naked teenagers and said that he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. And he's also been incredibly derogatory and harmful to lesbians and other members of the LGBTQ+ community by emboldening Christian nationalism or just Christian fundamentalism as a whole, which has led to an increase in anti-LGBTQ+ sentiment
Okay, you're
in
just
this
going
country.
off. You're going off some terrible news outlet. He literally does not care what your sexual preference is. He does not care.
you could say that he doesn't care, but at the end of the day, the
No, he
outcome
doesn't.
of his
No,
administration
I'm not.
is more
I'm not
hate against
saying
gay
it.
people.
What?
The outcome of his admin is more hate against gay people because he like
No, it's
LARPs.
not.
Yes, it is
No,
because he
it's
LARPs
not.
as a Christian. He's like, oh, I love
No, it's
God. We
not.
need to put God back in school.
Okay,
We're
but
like
also-
we're
also
like
as a
these
Christian-
major conservative traditionalists. Well, I mean that leads to more people being emboldened in their bigotry against gay people. Like
But also-
any announcement and divorcement away from a secular society is going to be pushing us towards a society in which includes more oppression of gay people.
Okay, but also as a Christian, he said he doesn't care.
But
Okay.
because it doesn't matter. Listen to what I'm saying. My argument is
I'm listening to you.
my specific argument
listening to
here, like for the intents and purposes of this conversation, my argument is not that he hates gay people. My argument is that he is pushing us further away from a secular society and closer to a Christian theocracy, which is putting us closer in proximity to a society in which will have more oppression of gay people.
Okay, but he also doesn't care. So why are you guys?
So,
why are you guys harping?
wow.
Why are you harping on the LGBT community when he literally stated that he does not care?
I
He
just
literally
gave
does
the
not
argument. He's pushing us closer to society,
Right.
which
And I
includes
get
more
that.
oppression of gay
And-
people. And
and
then you're
there
also
are
talking about the
mul-
totality of the community. Well, what about the T? Oh my goodness gracious! Don't even get me started about how oppressive he's been to trans Americans.
multiple people. There are multiple people that constantly say like, "I do not care about."
Yeah.
About
honestly,
because
you're
he-
just cooking me so hard. I'm gonna have to bring Parker up. Welcome in, Parker.
What?
Don't worry about it. Hey, Parker.
Because you don't want to hear it.
No, I want to hear it. Go for it. Wait, after. I actually want to hear it after I thank Jamie for the $25 donation over at PayPal. Jamie asked me to specifically not read their message off on live. I will not do that, but thank you for the love, Jamie. Show some love to Jamie down below in that comment section while Parker's plugging in his mic, everybody. Show some love to Jamie down below. Seriously, Jamie, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind
What's
of
up?
you.
What's up, everyone?
Welcome in, Mr. Parker.
What's good? How's everyone doing? How have the debates been today?
They've been pretty decent. It's been hard to find Trump supporters, but you know the people that we're finding are decent. Go ahead.
Kat, what's back? You can go back to the conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what's going on in the conversation. I have no clue. So
Oh no, we were just talking about the LGBT community and how Trump literally doesn't care. Like whatever you do, like he doesn't care.
oh, okay. What are you meaning to say that he doesn't like think badly of trans people?
No, I'm not saying trans people. I'm saying LGBT community. He doesn't care.
Are trans people a part of the LGBTQ plus community?
Yes, I'm not saying they're not.
Okay. So then,
I'm
like,
also-
does
I'm
he have
also-
just real question? Does he have disdain for trans people?
Does he have what?
Does he have disdain for trans people?
I don't think he cares. I
You
don't.
don't think he cares at all? But he's banning trans people from the military. He's getting rid of their access to gender affirming care.
He's
right?
banning people that are actively going through surgeries.
What? No. He's banning every single trans person.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. You
No,
need to go.
he's
You
not
need to
doing
go look at the policy. Read the policy.
He's not doing that.
Wait, are you serious? You don't think that have you read the policy? Have you looked into it? Because it specifically states trans people.
He's not doing that.
Kelly, thank
Really?
you for
You
the
wanna
10 bucks
bet?
over on YouTube Super Chat. Appreciate you for the love, Kelly.
Because one of my friends who's trans is getting kicked out of the military.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
wait. Kat, are you saying that trans people aren't getting kicked out of the military?
Yeah, that's what she just said. She just said that
What?
trans people aren't getting kicked out of the military.
have-
I literally
I
have
have
a
friends-
friend where
I
he's
have
getting
friends-
kicked out of the military
I
because
have
he's
friends
trans.
I have friends that are trans in the military. They're not getting kicked out.
Wait, really?
Yes. They're not getting kicked out.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes, really. I also have plenty of friends that are trans that are
The
cops and
Supreme
military.
Court is allowing the Trump administration's ban on transgender troops serving in the military to take effect while it is being contested. President Trump signed an executive order to implement that policy back in January. It had been blocked by several court rulings. What does it mean for someone who may be transgender serving right now in one of the armed forces? Does that mean that right now they could be asked to leave?
Depending on how the military is administering that, then yes. I mean, that's the whole point of seeking the stay. You're saying, hey, this is something that could cause immediate harm to people in the military right now. However the Trump administration decides to administrate that, yes, they may be out of a job.
The Supreme
Okay, so are you just gonna deny reality? No, is that what we're doing?
I'm not denying anything.
Really?
I'm literally
How,
not
how about this? Were there any trans people banned from the military?
No.
No, not a single trans person. Again, again.
If they were in
I
the-
know. I literally know someone who's my friend, and he has been banned from the military. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, because they're probably going through the surgery.
What do you mean? What?
Lauren.
Wait, even if that is the case, why does that mean that they shouldn't be able to?
I'm against gay.
1 second.
Pro-life. I'm pro-life. Gay marriage. What do you stand? I'm against gay marriage, and you know, not easy to do in New York, but I'm against.
Lauren.
Yep, he's so super pro the LGBTQ plus community. Look at this guy. He's an ally, right? Is that what your view is? Seriously?
He is.
That's your
He
view?
is. He is. He doesn't
That
care.
is the most insane take I've ever heard. Did you just hear what Dean just played? Hello?
You guys just literally take everything so excessively. Like, it's
What do you mean excessively? How can I take that excessively? It's what he said.
He also said he didn't care.
The Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration's ban on transgender troops serving in the military.
Pro-life. I'm pro-life. Gay marriage. What do you stand? I'm against gay marriage.
I'm in like a huge fight right now. on
The
TikTok.
Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration's ban on transgender troops serving in the military.
What do you stand? I'm against gay marriage.
I'm the famous guy on TikTok.
Dude,
The
Kat, are you
Supreme
serious? Do you actually think that he's like not a bigot? I mean, these are just small examples. We can go across the board. What?
I don't think he's a bigot. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares about the LGBT community. He doesn't care. He doesn't.
Did you hear what Dean is playing? You have Dean straight up silent, just looking up clips to disprove you right now. That's how insane your take is right now. You have Dean not speaking on his own live. What? Do you realize how insane this is?
The LGBT community. and
He's
the
just straight looking for clips right now to show you that you're wrong. Because like that's just like the most insane take I've heard.
How about we start off with that first point? You said that he wasn't banning all the trans people in the military. Okay, listen to this and then give me your evaluation.
Court is allowing the Trump administration's ban on transgender troops serving in the military to take effect while it is being contested. President Trump signed an executive order to implement that policy back in January. It had been blocked by several court rulings. What does it mean for some?
Yeah, respond to that.
Face isn't on it. Oh.
Kat, can you respond to that, please?
Yeah, I can. Again,
Do it.
he doesn't care.
Oh, you're not. No. Okay, you made the claim that he's not banning trans people in the military. I just gave you evidence he was banning trans people in the military. What are your thoughts?
No, he's banning trans people in the military that are trying to get surgeries while they're in the military.
This is all trans people.
Wait, can you give me actually like
Donald
what you're referencing? Where did you read this, Kat?
I'm literally telling you.
No, where did you read this?
He just does not want to.
Where did you get this information from?
We're just gonna read his actual executive order. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that as well. But I just want to ask where she read this from.
I literally read it everywhere. He just doesn't want to provide.
Everywhere?
He does not want to provide the surgeries.
Anywhere in specific? Can you tell me where you read this in specific?
He does not want to provide the surgeries for people while they're in the
And where did you read this in specific?
I can find it anywhere.
Okay, so I'm actually on supremecourt.gov right now. I have his literal executive order pulled up. Can I read it to you?
Sure.
Okay, so this was executive order number 14183. This was titled Prioritizing Military's Excellence and Readiness. So let's go ahead and view the text. Okay. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution, yada, 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 I hereby order that the...
Don't even.
Okay. One moment. We are looking for The particular, okay. Consistent with the military's mission and longstanding DoD policy, expressing a false gender identity divergent from an individual's sex cannot satisfy its rigorous standards necessary for military service. Beyond the hormonal and surgical medical interventions involved, adoption of a gender identity inconsistent with individual sex conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle, even in one's personal life. A man's assertion that he is a woman and his requirement that other honors this falsehood is not consistent with the humility and selflessness required of a service member. Okay. For the sake of our nation and the patriotic Americans who volunteer to serve it, military service must be reserved for those who are mentally and physically fit for duty. The armed forces must adhere to high mental and physical health standards to ensure military can deploy, fight, win, including the conditions and without the benefit of routine medical treatment or special supervisions. For this reason, this policy is banning all trans people from serving in the military. That was the exact wording of the executive order. You absolutely cannot deny that Donald Trump implemented a ban on all trans people in the military because I just read the ban to you.
I'm going back.
Okay.
You're on my glasses. I hope you didn't break them now.
He actually never did that, but okay.
Whoa, Kat, I just read off the order banning them. I wasn't just making shit up. That was me reading
There's
off.
no way she's real.
That was me reading off Executive Order 14183. So the contents of Donald Trump's Executive Order 14183, signed into law on January 27th, 2025, explicitly ban all trans people from serving in the military. And I just read off to you the very explicit text that did so. Once again, consistent with the military's mission and longstanding DoD policy, expressing a false gender identity divergent from an individual's sex cannot satisfy the rigorous standards necessary for military service. Boom. Okay?
Dean,
right.
I swear I'm having like the same day over and over again. I swear this happened yesterday, right? And like people just weren't answering questions the entire day.
Yeah, dude,
and now we're back and the same thing's happening. People aren't answering questions.
Yeah, this one's pretty
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
They're not engaging and they're rage baiting. I feel like this is rage bait. I feel like this isn't real.
This has to be rage bait, right?
Yeah, like there's no way.
Annie, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat saying I figured that she was just a TERF. This is more insane. Yeah. Kai, thank you for the $10 saying, does she realize that the LGBT community is considered a part of DEI? Oh, good point. Really good point. Really good point. Really good point. Appreciate you guys for the love. Then also real quick, I'd like to thank Olivia for the $50 over on PayPal. Olivia with more love. Olivia says, yay, Dean and Parker. I love it when they crush MAGA together. Yeah, I have fun when Parker's debating with me. Thank you for the love, Olivia. Let's get 500 Olivia W's down below. And then also Journey with the $5 over on PayPal. Let's get 50 Journey W's down below. Then Kayla with the $10 saying, please kick her out. I like to hear an intelligent Republican. Thank you for the $10.
They don't exist.
Kayla. And then Emmanuel, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. Show some love to Emmanuel down below. Thank you so much for the love, Emmanuel. I do appreciate you for your donation. And then also quickly, Brittany with the $5 on Venmo, Sarah with the $5 on Venmo, and AJ with a 1. Okay, so now that we've gone through the donations, I'm gonna assume that Kat has had her time to disassociate from her crazy mental gymnastics. So Kat, the claim that we are arguing is actually no longer relevant because Kat just left the live. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, Dominic, right now. Everybody just be patient. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. In the meantime, y'all, let's go to get that next guest, Dominic, loaded. And what's going on, Dominic? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Phenomenal. And why do you support the worst president of your lifetime, Donald J. Trump?
Oh, man. Have you ever seen The Apprentice?
I've actually never watched it. I have seen a clip from The Apprentice where he just straight up says that he loves Diddy.
Oh, God. That's not good.
Oh, it's not good at all.
No. Yeah, he was funny when that show came out. He'd like to say,
well, I mean, wouldn't that make him better for like a stand-up comedy club, not the Oval Office?
yeah, no, supporting the nation is crazy.
Right, so you don't actually support Trump?
No. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Appreciate you. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just do be patient while we're working on getting that next guest. Hudson loaded into the live. Here we go, y'all. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Just do be patient while we're working on getting that next guest loaded. And we got Alex loading up right now. Everyone, just be patient. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Alex?
No. Sorry if I'm wasting your time. I just want to say
that I did gotta kick you. I'm really sorry, Alex. We were just looking for some debates. So we got Kyle Roth loaded into the box. Here we go, everybody. If you want to support me, Venmo, PayPal, you can find in the link tree in my bio. Get 100% of the proceeds over there.
Yo, can you hear me?
I really do. I appreciate everyone so much for watching.
Cookie King mogs you.
Very nice, Kyle. Very nice. Hello, Luke. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do support Trump.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, why do you support Trump?
I mean, he's just an alpha. Like, I wanted to ask you, do you still vape?
No, bro. It's an anxiety pin. Okay.
It's a patience pen, bro.
Yeah, bro. God.
All right, I wanted to ask Park. He never answered the question. He said that he was a concubine for the Osama bin Laden's killer. So I just wanted to ask you, are you also a concubine?
That was me.
No, I said that
Robert
I said
O'Neill
that the guy
out?
called us.
Oh, yeah, you were also in that picture.
It was yeah.
Yeah, it was both of us. Yeah.
Is there any truth to that statement?
Well, no.
Why are you asking that?
No,
That's such a fucking
we're not-
insane thing to say.
We're not sex slaves to the person that killed Osama bin Laden. Nope.
So was it consensual then?
No, it was unconsensual. It was a very unconsensual request.
He unconsensually raped you? That's crazy, bro.
No, he said that he wanted to unconsensually rape me.
Why are you?
And I said,
what a
is there-
fucking
is there any
weirdo.
truth
Why
to
are
that or what?
what a rage baiter? What a weirdo, dude. What is wrong with you?
Are you asking?
You guys
if
are
he-
not able to decline it, or you
I
guys
just,
are not able
I
to
just want to clarify. Are you asking if he actually raped me?
Yeah, if you were his concubine. He said concubine. He didn't say grape.
So concubine is a sex slave. Sex slaves get raped. That's
your opinion. But anyways,
What about your opinion? Do sex slaves get raped?
Well, obviously not. It depends. If there's no graping, no.
What does it depend on?
On if they consent or not.
If they consent, then they're not a sex slave.
So you think all concubines get raped?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your opinion. So you did get raped.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy,
He
dude?
didn't actually grape me. He said that he wanted to.
So was it consensual then? So was it consensual?
He didn't actually do it. Never
Oh,
actually met Robert O'Neill in person.
Do you think you would have a choice if you're in front of him?
Do I think I'd have a choice if I was in front of him?
Considering that you're a sore boy and you probably don't lift weights.
So your critique is to say Dean doesn't lift weights. Dean would get graped. Liberal owned. I don't know, man. I think that this deteriorated mindset on the right is incredibly sadistic, and honestly, just really does convey a lack of the existence of any moral virtues in your character. You know, you're talking about me here, so I mean, I'm not going to give you a super negative reaction because that's likely what you want. I'm just going to call you weird, bro. That shit is
I'm weird because you said you wouldn't be able to fight back. That's sad.
You're weird because you said I get raped because I'm a soy boy. That's crazy, dude.
Well, he said he raped you, so I'm just asking you if it's true, and you're not denying it, so.
I've never met with Robert O'Neill in person. He said that he wanted me to be a sex slave. He said that he wanted to grape me, not that he did.
Yeah, and I asked you a question. I said, would you be able to fight him off? You said no.
Would I be able to fight him off? Likely not.
So you'd be raped.
If he wanted to do that and I was in person with him and I didn't have any means of defense and it was a one man v other man, he would likely do that to me. Yeah.
And you wouldn't fight back?
No, I would fight back. He just happens to weigh 200 pounds more than I do, and he happens to have the training of a Navy SEAL.
Oh, so you're just a victim. Okay, so you just give up that booty hole real fast. Wow, that's
okay. All right. We're gonna move on. What a very morally perverse individual. What a very morally perverse individual. We're gonna move on to the next guest, everybody. What an incredibly morally perverse individual. Everyone, just do give us a minute to get that next guest up in the live, y'all. Do be patient. Let's go ahead and see what the next guest does have to say, y'all. We're gonna get Alex up in the box. And Hudson. Welcome in, Alex and Hudson. Do you guys support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alex, how old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2005.
Okay, what month?
December 7th, Pearl Harbor.
Okay, take it
You
away.
on my ID or what, buddy?
Maybe. Why do you support Trump?
You don't believe me?
Why do you support Trump?
Hello?
Why do you support Trump? He's trying really hard, guys.
Knowing someone that could protect us, honestly.
You think that Trump can protect America?
Well, I mean, yeah.
One second. Are you in the fucking bath?
I was about to
He
ask
already
that
did.
question. Like, are you in the bathtub, bro?
Did he not?
Why are you in the bathtub joining the live?
Yeah, we're gonna go to just move on, everybody. Caden, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Caden. And then Jenny with the $7 on PayPal. Thank you guys so much for the love. You guys are incredibly kind. Thank you so much for the donations. What's up, Tractor Guy? You support Trump?
Ghost, thank you for the $2. Thank you, Ghost.
Yeah, of course I support Trump. It's my president. I'm patriotic.
Oh, okay. Do patriots support core American values?
Yeah.
Is the core American value the Constitution?
Wait, you said to name a core American value?
No, is a core American value the American Constitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so if patriots support core American values and the Constitution is a core American value, if you don't support the Constitution, you don't support core American values, meaning that you're not a patriot, right?
Not true, because if you support 90% of the American Constitution, then you're still patriotic.
We called for a termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, which would be the entirety of the Constitution. So if he's advocating against the entirety of the Constitution, that would be against the entirety of a core American value, let alone the fact that I would be able to ask you this question. Name a single core American value that Donald Trump upholds more than Kamala Harris.
I mean, I don't know why we're talking about Kamala. She's irrelevant, but...
Just name a single one.
I would say he supports the going to work and getting paid for what you do rather than sitting on your ass and not working.
Really? Because that's not what he specifically does.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Can you give us a little bit more of like an explanation of that? He supports going to work and getting paid for what you do compared to sitting on your ass and not working. How does he support that? What does that mean? What does that mean? Tell us more about that.
The guy that inherited his wealth.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Tell us what you mean when you say that.
Well, he'll let you keep more of your paycheck rather than having it given to the taxes to subsidize government programs.
Oh, that's not true. Actually, the average American, or I guess every American making at or under $51,000 per year, will be paying more in taxes following the BBB. That's according to a model done by the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania, which is currently our best data as far as a projection of what the impacts of the BBB will be on our federal tax code. So in other words, he actually supports taking more money away from the low and average middle and low and middle income Americans and then giving it to the rich people so they could sit on their asses all day on their mega yachts with an additional bottle of champagne.
What do you mean by where is he giving money to the rich people in the big beautiful bill?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that there's direct cuts to a handful of things that disproportionately benefit the rich people. I think according to that same model that I told you, the top 1% is taking home an additional hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax breaks per year.
Yeah, when it is the case that we actually see the bottom quintile losing more, right, in terms of after-tax income. Their after-tax income decreases for the bottom quintile.
Sure, but don't you think it's good that people at the bottom get punished? And that will motivate them to...
What? Dude, this guy just advocated. Don't you think it's good that we're fucking more people over and putting more people in poverty? Because if we put more people in poverty, bro, it will incentivize them not to be in poverty, bro.
Did you just say?
What?
Did you just say?
No,
good that the people at the bottom get punished.
And it won't be your problem. It won't be a problem.
Dude, you're rage baiting. You're rage baiting.
I'm actually not. I don't understand why every time somebody with some valid points talks, you say you're rage.
It's not a valid point.
Because you just said, isn't it good that the people at the bottom get punished? So you want to make it.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify, the best version of reality is where the people with the hardest lives already have their lives harder, right?
But a lot of these people make bad decisions in their life that set them up for not having success. A lot of them are not educated people. A lot of them are...
Do you think rich people don't make bad decisions?
Wait. Then let's just hone in on that. Let's just hone on that. You're saying that the less money you make, the less educated you are, and that's a bad decision insofar as the success of your own life.
No, that's not always.
So I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify here, real quick. Do you think that it's going to be easier for the average low-income American to get an education if they have to work 60 hours a week and get paid $1,000, or work 45 hours a week and get paid $1,000?
Well, it depends what job you're doing, man.
It shouldn't depend on the job that you're doing. When you have to work more to make the same amount of money, you're obviously going to have less of an opportunity to educate yourself. So in other words, when we increase taxes on low-income Americans and we make life harder for them, forcing them to focus more on their immediate needs, turn around and get a low-wage job, that will give them less time to seek an education, to be more successful in their life. And you just ran right into the point, because that is the total point of social safety nets, is to alleviate the immediate needs of low-income Americans, as well as to increase their wages. And the reason that is so important is because thereby that gives them more time to focus on things that they could use to become like a high skill member of the labor force, to seek an education, or to go out and start a business. But when we're forcing them instead to work like 80-hour weeks to pay for them and their children with no benefits, and punishing them by increasing their taxes, they're more focused on their immediate needs. They're more focused on working more harder hours to generate the same income that they did before, meaning that they'd thereby be less focused on seeking an education, seeking a trade degree, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that would amount to more boundaries from going from existing as a low-income American to an average American or a high-income American. Individuals have more economic mobility, which means it's easier for them to scale their own income, the more social safety nets they have.
I mean, which part am I supposed to address? You just spoke for like 2 minutes straight and said 100 points because you're speaking at like 5 words per second.
Pick one. Pick one.
Pick one.
I don't even know, man. I'm lost.
He doesn't know a single one. He didn't know a single point.
I'll repeat the main point I want you to respond to. You said we should punish poor people because they're not getting educations. Okay.
No, you shouldn't. My point is that you shouldn't reward poor people.
Wait,
you shouldn't give stuff.
Is rewarding poor people like taxing them less?
Taxing poor people. No, well, poor people should be taxed less, but not like completely.
Isn't that a reward?
Is that punishing them?
No, that wouldn't be punishing poor people.
Well, you just said that they should be punished, right? So if they should be punished, then we should strip people off of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. We should cut people off of, like children that get, free school lunches. We should cut them off of that because they should be punished because they're poor, under your view. Well, right? That's what your perspective is. You're saying because they make less, they should be punished. That's fucking insane. It's a crazy fucking view. And the fact that you aren't able to easily identify it right now is disgusting, dude. Do you care about your community? Do you have empathy for human beings?
My point is like,
this guy's gotta be a troll. This guy's gotta be a troll. No. This guy's a rage baiter. Okay, so I clicked onto his profile.
Not.
Yes, no. Because right now on screen it's telling me that your name is Tractor Guy. It's like a picture of a tractor guy. But then when I click on your account, your profile is like Pope Trump AI.
Aaron Rodgers.
And then your name. So then when I click on your account, your profile picture is Pope Trump AI, and your name is Trump is our savior.
Yeah, I don't know why TikTok doesn't save my stuff.
So do you think Trump is our savior?
Yeah, he's gonna save America, man.
Oh my god,
he has to be a troll. This has to be a troll.
No, can I ask a question about the?
For sure. After I thank Hype Phantom for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying mute him for me, please. Sure, why not? Hype, I do appreciate you for the $20. So show some love to Hype down below in the comment section. I do really appreciate you so much for that. I want to see at least 200 Hype W's down below. As well as if you're watching and you want to support me, you can find me on Venmo and PayPal in the link tree in my bio. You can find my Venmo and PayPal down there. I get 100% of the proceeds, and I do really appreciate you guys for the love. Go ahead.
Tractor, what state do you live in?
Arizona.
What time is it?
5:30 about.
Okay. For some reason I thought you were Canadian.
Why do people think I'm Canadian?
The way you pronounce about
Canadian. You just said it. Canadian.
I studied in Canada. Well, like I did my like.
Wow.
Canada. Can you name 3 cities in Arizona?
Tucson, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Glendale.
Okay.
Tucson.
You said Tucson twice.
You went to Canada to study? You got your education from the socialist communists?
Yeah, seriously, dude. He got cheaper education because of publicly funded.
I went to Alberta for 3 years.
Of course, you went to Alberta.
But like, okay. Obviously, when you guys just ramble about these same points all day, every day, can I ask about the one point about the big, beautiful bill? If you have the one thing that I saw a lot of people like disliking in the media was the fact that he was cutting Medicaid. And yeah, I think healthcare should, be accessible to everybody. It shouldn't be given to everybody, but it should be accessible. And like, yeah, like it's going to cost something, but like whatever. if like the 20 hours a work week, like that's not that much to ask for if you're able-bodied and above the like the age that it was. Like, is that really too much to ask if someone's able-bodied to work?
Over 11 million people, yes, it is. That's literally why they're going to lose their health insurance.
But why can't people work 20 hours a week?
There could be various reasons. It could be specifically related to the level of work in their particular area. It could be relating to disaster areas.
Volunteer.
It could be relating to, the volunteer also, right? There are plenty of conditions in which that would also be hard for people to be able to get access to, in terms of plenty of things related to their own lives, in terms of children, taking care of children, especially after the times in which they've designated, in terms of like, I think it's around 14 years old specifically for Medicaid and 7 years old for food stamps. I mean, you can have an 8-year-old kid that's going to have a restricted access to food because their parents aren't getting food stamps anymore because they're above the age of fucking 7. Like, that's nuts, dude.
Or also, can we like keep in mind that like a really big reason why like experts and critics don't support a work requirement is because of the administrative burdens. So like many people, when we implement a work requirement on like socialized healthcare, fail to complete like the very complex paperwork or meet the documentation requirements, which would thereby disqualify them from services, even though they are working the required amount. And this isn't like a hypothetical claim. I mean, this is what we actually see. So Arkansas implemented a work requirement on their state Medicaid in 2018, and because of that, 18,000 people lost coverage, not because they weren't working under that requirement, but because of paperwork issues.
Yeah. I mean, that's rough, but man, life ain't easy, man. Like, get up, go to work, figure it out.
Get a job is actually nuts. You just saying get a job is nuts.
To the people that have jobs but can't complete the complex paperwork.
Yeah, but you can also, like, I'm talking about the Medicaid. Like, yeah, that situation, I never knew about that. But like for the majority of almost like I'd say like 99% of Americans, 99.9 per like 1 in 1,000 people over the age of 25 that's able-bodied shouldn't like it maybe can't work. Like everybody should be able to work 20 hours a week to get this Medicaid.
My point is that there is people that are meeting these qualifications that still lose their service because of the administrative burden.
Yeah, wait, along with the fact that, again, when it comes to these different types of, like you say, just quote-unquote work longer, right? If it is the case that they don't have access to general work within their area, are you saying the only thing they have access to is volunteering, that they have to dedicate up to 20 hours of their week specifically to volunteering something that they're not paid for just to receive health insurance?
And then also, I just want to point it out there that Medicaid was created to ensure healthcare access, not to incentivize employment. I agree we should have policies in our government that incentivize employment, but I don't think that healthcare is one of those policies.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand that healthcare is obviously something that everybody needs, right? So that, but okay, can we go back to when you were speaking before? You guys were talking like playing clips of Trump saying stuff like that he doesn't believe in like gay marriage and stuff. Well, like I'm not trying to gotcha here because you obviously know, but a lot of the Democratic Party has clips of them 20 years ago saying the same thing.
So true.
And that clip of Trump saying that, it's a little skewed, right? Like you're showing your tens of thousands of people watching you that all call Trump a racist and a homophobe and all those things.
He is a racist.
My biggest reasons
The clips from before.
My biggest reasons that I think that he's harmful to like gay Americans is going to be him not embracing a secular multicultural democracy and kind of getting us significantly closer to like a Christian theocracy. I understand that he doesn't just like totally say Christian theocracy is what we need, but like the sentiments of putting God back in school, being this really good Christian, 10 Commandments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, even look at your profile picture. It's literally AI Pope Trump. He said that he wanted to be Pope.
Yeah, that was funny.
That pushes us closer to the proximity of a government that includes more oppression of gay people.
Yeah, again, but it's a sin in their religion, just like taking somebody's right to life. Like it's a sin. Like these people believe that it's on the same lines of that, right? Like in their 10 Commandments, they believe that. And when you believe something is like sin is like not all sins obviously equal, but if something's sinning, like you don't just support a sin that you're brought up in the belief. Like
exactly, like this is what it causes.
You have
right
to
here.
convince people
this
to
is
change
what
their belief.
this is what it causes right here. It's like, oh, it's a sin. We can't support that. Bad. And that's what Donald Trump is getting us closer to proximity to. That's why I don't.
But the
like
last
him.
pope was.
Wait, also, I just want to talk about this. While you support Donald Trump, a guy who cheated on every single one of his wives, was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, has 30,000 confirmed lies in his first administration. Right? Are you trolling? Are you serious?
No, I'm. Why would I be trolling? I'm not going to waste my time.
If you're saying that like people who are gay should be ostracized from this in the context of society, well, then shouldn't the same thing be for Trump?
I'm not I'm not one of those religious people. I have nothing wrong with that group of people. I don't dislike the LGBTQ. I have any problems with them existing.
So you're not Christian. You're not a Christian nationalist.
No.
Also, what's the argument that being gay is a sin?
Well, yeah. All it was that man shouldn't sleep with man. That's what I remember hearing
Where
about
does it say that? Leviticus 19? Yeah, you're right. It does.
Yeah, they don't accept
Leviticus
Leviticus.
25 says slavery
there's
is
a
okay. You don't
ton of
accept
that.
Leviticus. Come on. where
Apparently,
else?
if you don't respect your parents in the Bible, it also says that you should be put to end
Give
of life.
me the argument that being gay is a sin.
I'm not saying it's a sin. It's in the. Is it not in the Bible?
No, I don't believe that the Bible says that being gay is a sin insofar as any moral law that is observed today or after Jesus resurrected.
I thought it said that man shall not lay with a man. If he does, then there's like a problem.
That's Leviticus 22. I mean,
you're thinking of
like typically like Christians would reject like Levitical law and treat it as moral commandment of the Old Testament, renewed via Jesus's resurrection. And I mean, obviously, you'll be able to agree here. Like, you know, Leviticus 25 says that slavery is okay. Obviously, like modern day Christians don't think that slavery is okay now, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
right.
dude,
So that actually
Bible
isn't
written a
moral
long
commandment of
time
God,
ago.
that is true today.
You were allowed to.
It was fulfilled with Jesus's
marry
resurrection.
like young people when you were in the Bible days. Like it's not. We're living in a different world. The religion shouldn't be part of the government. I don't agree that it does, and I understand your point on the fact that Trump is more likely to push these morals because that's the way he believes that the country can run better. But biblically, like speaking on all the European countries and whatnot, you look at how countries run themselves. A lot of them are based on religion. I mean, like Poland, France, like these are Italy, like
because the
Greece,
world was incredibly religious when these countries were founded, and the
but it was
tradition
also
held.
religious when America was
That doesn't mean that I agree with that. I think that every country on earth should be a secular, multicultural democracy.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Like I don't necessarily disagree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, man. Was there anything else you want to go over with me, Parker, today?
No, I guess that's it. I'm smarter than both of you.
Cool. All right, moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Let's go and see what the next guest does have to say. We got Max Nunley loading up in the box. Everybody, just be patient while we get that next guest connected. Y'all, here we go, everybody. Here we go. All right, phenomenal. While we are getting that next guest loaded in, make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen. And also, Marissa, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Marissa, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your kindness. Seriously, thank you so much. If we could please get, at least 250 Marissa W's for their
Oh,
kindness.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to yell at that guy. Let me leave.
If we could please get 250 Marissa W's down below in the chat for Marissa's kindness, that would be sweet. Marissa, I seriously do really appreciate you for the $25 donation. Let's see 250 Marissa W's. While we're getting the next guest, Gaten Durner, loaded into the live. Gaten Durner, quite frankly.
Hi, guys.
What's up? You support Trump?
Yes.
Oh, ew, why?
Why shouldn't I?
Yeah, because he's bad.
And how
He's
is
an
that?
adjudicated rapist. His economic
That's
policy
proof.
sucks.
That's proof.
What state do you live in?
I don't live in America.
Yeah, skedaddle, buddy. All right. Anybody want to come up? Anyone? Fucking, quite frankly, dude? Come on. Where are they at? We'll get Junebug up in here. Junebug, you better be mad, I swear to God. Okay, let's go to get the next guest up in here. Then also Stephanie, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. They say, my Australian heart breaks for the U.S. right now. I wish that the MAGA delusionals understood that you're fighting for them too, right? They'll never understand. And also, Andreas, thank you for the $5 and the 25 cents over on PayPal. Show some love to Andreas as well as Stephanie down below. Thank you, guys. Let's go to get the next guest up in here, y'all.
Kim, thank you so much for the $40 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Kim. Give me some W's for Kim in the comment section right now, as well as Jay. Thank you for the $5. Mariah, thank you for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think that we scared all the Trump supporters away, Parker. Chat, what do you guys think? Chat, did me and Parker scare all the Trump supporters away? Is that something we did? I don't know.
Here, I'm going to thank people on YouTube. I just don't want to cut you off.
No worries. All right, we're going to get the next guest loaded up in. Go ahead and put a MAGA down below if you want to come up. Bernard, what's up? You support Trump? Bernard is not here, quite frankly. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. We're going to get the next guest up in here. Just looking for some Trump supporters. If you're not a Trump supporter, leave the queue, quite frankly. Come on. Sup? You got a Palestinian flag in your name. Do you support Trump? Oh, they're napping. They're napping, quite frankly. They're napping. Here we go. Moving on to Eli. Yeah. Moving on to Eli. Here we go. Yo, Christian! Coming in hot with the $100 donation over on Venmo. Holy fuck, dude. Christian just says, thank you for supporting gay rights. Christian, thank you for being in here with us today. And thank you for hitting me with the $100 donation. Seriously, Christian, it means the world. We all love you here. Let's see at least 1,000 Christian W's down below. Thank you so much for your kindness, man. All the love over to Christian, as well as Journey. Thank you for the $12 over on PayPal, they say. Do you ever use the bodily autonomy argument when talking about abortion? I do in the sense that, it's like wrong to infringe upon somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason, and we don't have any good reason in the context of abortion. Absolutely. What's going on, Eli? Do you support Trump?
No, I just want to say I love you guys.
Boo, fuck you, Eli. I'm just kidding. I love you too, but don't spam Mac in the chat. I'm just going to come up here and say that. No, all the love to you, Eli. All the love to you.
Mac, I said thank you for one person. Or Matt. What the fuck? Did I just call you Matt? That was crazy. I think it's because I saw the guest name. Christian, thank you for the $100 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Christian. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give me some W's for Christian in the comment section right now for thank you for supporting gay rights. Give me some W's for Christian in the comment section right now. Holy shit, Christian. Always good to see you. W's for Christian in the comment section right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome in, Matthew. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do, but I just had a quick question. Do y'all boys watch sports at all?
College football. How old are you?
I'm 20.
20? All right, take it away. Wait, how's this relevant to why you support Trump, though?
Oh, no, I just got up here to talk about Wimbledon.
About what? About women?
Wimbledon. The tennis tournament.
Oh, the tennis tournament? Yeah, man, I'm not up to date with my tennis tournaments. I'm not gonna lie.
Me neither.
Boy. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, we're gonna go to get Evil Dean up in the box. Wimbledon.
It's a different Evil Dean. You got to be clear with that. You got to come up with a different name other than just Evil Dean. Diabolical Dean.
Evil Dean.
No, Diabolical Dean.
Extra Evil Dean. Diabolical Dean. What's going on, Vinny? You got some noise in the background there. Do you support Trump?
Does Charlie Kirk own both of you?
No.
On what point?
I own Charlie Kirk every time I talk to him. That's right, buddy. That's right, pal. That's right. I have him running. He's scared of me.
Yeah, wait, why isn't he sitting down and doing a long-form conversation with Dean anymore?
I don't know if he wants to smoke with you guys.
Wait, he said he would. He said he would again. He literally just recently said he would again.
Charlie
And then he went back on it. How are we ducking?
I have a question, Vinny. You gotta cut the background noise. It's pretty loud. But Vinny, do you
the beef, bro.
Do you support Kirk?
Possibly.
Okay. Sorry, man.
I support JD there.
There's too much background noise. There's too much background noise. Sorry, Vinny. All right, we are 3.5 hours into the stream. We'll probably debate one or two more people. Honestly, you guys have made this stream go by really quickly. I'm very thankful for you guys. All right, because it was a long, hard night. It was a long, hard morning. It was definitely like pretty rough, guys. Been having it rough, but it's been a good stream. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's gonna get that next guest up in here, y'all. All right, everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest loaded into the box, y'all. We're going to go to get them in here right now. If you are MAGA and you would like to come up and have a conversation with us, let me know. Let Parker know down below in that comment section. We will invite you up here. That's right. Dean, are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan. The vegans are very mad at me right now. That's right. I've had a lot of people stop supporting me because I gave an argument to just show like an absurdity. This one woman's perspective of veganism. Not happy with me right now. Nope. Alex, thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. They say, debate me, little punk, hit your anxiety pin. I gotta say, man, $10 is a lot for a hate dono. That's actually probably right around the same amount of money I'm gonna be spending on dinner tonight. So, Alex, thank you for buying me dinner. That is incredibly kind of you. It's gonna move on to the next guest. Unironically, some hater just bought me dinner. I am not even trolling. I'm being dead ass. Some hater just bought me dinner. NW, you support Trump?
Currently, yes, but I do vote both sides.
Oh, man. Why do you support Trump?
No one's perfect. No matter what candidate's in place, there's going to always be things that are bad. But I do believe that he has delivered on what he's campaigned. I think I should leave it at that. How's that?
I think he's delivered on some things he's campaigned on, but he definitely didn't deliver on cutting the price of groceries so fast your head would spin on day one. He didn't deliver
agreed.
Of a ceasefire between Israel, Russia and Ukraine in the first 24 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of false promises. But
He
even
didn't
if
build the wall, didn't repeal and replace the ECA. I mean, we can go on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree there.
Dude, 1 second. I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off because Alex the hater just hit us with another $5 saying hit your anxiety pin before you cry again. Dude, now you've donated me a total of $15. Now we're actually like getting into like decent dinner territory. $15.
I think he loves you.
I know. $15, that'll get me a $12 choice New York strip for my local grocery store, and $3 that could be spent on a potato and then some like really nice garlic and some really nice garlic butter to baste the steak in while I cook it. You just bought me a steak and a potato.
Yeah.
Steak and potatoes for dinner. Thank you, Alex the hater. Take it away.
All right. So I disagree with you most of the time. I still watch everything. You and there's another gentleman. I forgot his name right now. Harry. But I still listen because there's always something to learn. So it's not a debate on who's right or wrong. It's really about what's good for the citizens, right? That's what we're looking for. Am I wrong?
So we're looking for something that's good for the citizens. Sure, I could agree to that. Good for the country. Yeah,
okay.
Good for everybody in
the
it.
Citizens. The citizens.
Well, I mean, let me rephrase
not
myself.
the country.
Like, unfortunately, it will require this rephrasement because of Donald Trump's policy. I want something that's good for people.
Fair enough. So let's let good people in the country. I mean, as a Trumper, since I'm not a Trumper, but I voted this time for Trump.
What the fuck?
I did vote.
I'm sorry. I gotta cut you off.
I know.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. It's that same hater. Alex just donated $50.
No way.
The hater Alex just.
You did not.
What the fuck, yo?
Yeah.
He did not.
He did.
Alex, can you start hating me, Alex, please?
He said, treat yourself to halibut, but please grow up. Be a better person. Enjoy dinner. Yo, Alex, I got to tell you, man, you are my favorite hater ever. Give some W's to Alex. I'm not even joking. W hater Alex down below.
I already love him too.
I know, right? Yeah, that's my last interruption. I'm so sorry for cutting
Big
you off.
win.
Yeah, big win. Take it away.
No worries. So again, I disagree with you and what's his name that I said earlier. Gosh, I forgot again already. But anyway, I disagree, but I always listen to both sides because it's educational, right? I gotta know. I did vote for Trump this last round, and there's lots of failures, lots of wins, or whatever. But gosh darn it, I think you interrupted me enough that I lost my point.
You were starting to make a point that had to do with like mass deportation, it sounded like.
Oh, mass deportation. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so Trump is handling that totally wrong. He's not focusing on the bad people. He's focusing on the good people. I'm all for, actually, I would think a lot of Trumpers or MAGA or Republicans say, yeah, let people in, but put them through due process and make them legal. But yeah, Trump's kind of failing on the who he's deporting. He's literally just going for numbers at this point. He's not going for the bad people, the rapists, the murderers, the the gang members. What do you think? Do you see the same thing? Because me, even though I voted for him, I think he's going too far.
Okay, so far you've
you
actually
agree?
been able to point out a lot of things that Donald Trump is doing / has done that you disagree with. What are the things that he's done that you do agree with that make you consider yourself MAGA?
Oh, well, I do agree with closing the border. But at the same time, I agree there should still be a funnel with an appropriate process to let good people in.
Okay, I'll respond to that. But before I do, Tree, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. And then Alex with another 20 saying, I hate you guys. And he's not even trolling. He's not
still
even trolling.
getting it.
No, he's donating to own the libs. Like Alex said in the chat, see how I'm donating to him and you guys are still hating me? So he's like donating to me to like make people look like hypocrites because they're still hating on him. Like he's at $85 now. And it's not even like a liberal that's LARPing. This is like a legitimate hater. Wow, Alex, I feel so owned. I gotta tell you, I feel so owned. But now listen, you said that you support Trump because of his border policy. I actually think that his border policy is really, really, really bad. Now, the reason why I say that is because a big reason we've seen a reduction in undocumented entry into this country is by restructuring the incentive structure for entry of immigrants. Think about it. Why are undocumented immigrants entering into this country? Well, one primary motivation would be for a better quality of life. I believe that Donald Trump has removed at least the aesthetics of that, the appearance of that incentive by really reducing the quality of life of some undocumented immigrants that are already in this country, like Abrigo Garcia, having him beaten, tortured, and sea caught, or sending people to Alligator Alcatraz, or deporting Venezuelan immigrants without due process, okay? That creates an appearance of a very low quality of life, which is scaring more people away from undocumented entry by removing that incentive. Now, on the other hand,
they shouldn't come in undocumented. They should come in legally.
Okay.
And we
I agree.
should enable that.
But
right?
we have to be able to come up with the proper solution. The proper solution to mitigating undocumented entry isn't to give them or to restructure their incentives to make them think they have a bad quality of life because the quality of life of the undocumented immigrants who are in this country are having their human rights violated. The way that we should disincentivize undocumented entry is by removing the other incentives, such as the fact that the legal means of entry are so unattainable. Here's a way that I break it down. The ultimate incentive for all immigration is a higher quality of life.
You're making too many points too fast.
Fine.
I have to agree. I'm 57. My wife came here when she was 5. It took her 10 or 15 years to get citizenship. So you're right. The barriers to entry are too significant, whether it be financial or time or both.
Yeah, and
we
I think
need to do better on that.
And I think that's
as a
ultimately,
country.
I think that's a root cause of undocumented entry because, I mean, what an immigrant sees is like, oh, it's going to take them 20 to 25 years to get in here legally. So thereby, if they just enter into this country illegally, they'll be able to attain a higher quality of life now. And that is the reason we've had so many millions of undocumented immigrants come into this country. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, you talk very fast, but I will agree that too many people are coming in too fast. They're not being vetted, and I do think our process is too long. So it's kind of a double-headed problem, right?
Right, but I think so many undocumented immigrants are coming in so fast unvetted is because their legal process takes too long. If we want to reduce the incentive for undocumented immigration, all that we need to do is restructure, our legal means of entry and have it function in such a way where legal entry is significantly more attainable, and that will ultimately remove that incentive for undocumented entry. That's what we need to do. Has Donald Trump ever said he wants to make the legal means of entry into this country better?
No, that's a
really
great
big
point.
reason
No,
why you should
he
think that
hasn't.
Donald Trump is
I'm
bad for
really
border
disappointed
control.
in that.
It's a really good reason that you should think he's bad for border
It seems to be from the past 2 presidents, it's either blocked or open. We need to find a balance there, and we need to put a process in. If we can spend so much money on a wall and so much money on military to protect the wall, we can spend that money on allowing people in. That I agree with. We can figure it out. But right now it seems binary. Biden said open, Trump says close. Even though I voted for Trump,
Neither of those things are true statements.
They're not?
Wait, okay, I have a question. You said Donald Trump said close, right? You said specifically that. Okay, I have a question. Then if it was closed under Trump and it was open under Biden, explain to me how there were lower levels of border crossings on a daily average at the end of Biden's administration compared to the end of Trump's first administration.
Oh, that I don't know. I mean, unless they were just fearful because of Trump. I mean, it just could have been a emotional reaction. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm completely guessing, so I'm not giving you any facts.
So again, lower levels of border crossings at the end of Biden's administration compared to the end of Trump's first administration.
Yeah, I honestly have no facts. I really don't know.
Okay. All right. Is there like a policy of Trump's that you like? Can you name a single economic policy maybe?
Not a specific policy. I'll tell you, I'm an investor, and when Trump was in, okay, sure. Not a policy specific. I can only tell you my experience. When Trump was in office, my accounts went up. When Biden came in, my accounts went down. When Trump came in, my accounts went back up. So
do you know what a correlation causation fallacy is? You're saying because two variables are associated means one caused the other. And if you look up something called spurious correlations, there are a hell of a lot of things out there that have an incredibly high level of correlation with each other that have absolutely no legitimate relation.
Interesting. All right, I should look that up. Can you repeat that though? That was
look up spurious correlations. Would you like me to even just read off some of them for you?
I mean, I don't know if the audience wants to hear that, but if you'd like to share brief stuff like bullet points, I'd be happy to listen.
Yeah, like it's just like an example. Here's an example. The distance between Saturn and the Sun, and Google searches for how to make a baby.
Those
have an incredibly high correlation.
Really?
Yeah, incredibly high correlation.
Okay. All right. You know, I'm an old guy, and I'm going to change the subject a little bit, and it's around debt. So excuse my ignorance, because I trust you guys. That's why I listen to you. I listen to both sides. So I'll be 57 this month, and I'm not okay with debt. All of us, regardless of party, increase the debt. Why is that okay? Is there a possibility?
You really care about debt. You care about fiscal responsibility. Did you know that Donald Trump signed off on more debt-related spending comparative to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Joe Biden specifically 4.3 trillion overall, 2.2 trillion non-COVID related comparative to the Trump administration, 8.4 trillion overall, 4.8 trillion non-COVID related.
Yeah, again, no question.
But we're talking about who causes more.
A candidate that reduces it. There is no question about what you're saying. I agree.
Neither candidate reduces it from net basis in terms of zero, but one is preferable to the other.
One is, yeah, that's true. But not, I shouldn't say not to me because I made a vote, right? You know, I voted for Trump. But who's going to help us with this debt?
Who's going to help us with what?
Yeah, well,
The
listen,
debt.
that's an existential crisis related to American politics that is ever impending and does not have an answer today. But what I will tell you, is, as it relates to a conversation about your support for Donald Trump, clearly not him.
Wait, what'd you say?
My response to your question of who is going to help us with the debt is that I have no fucking clue.
Well, yeah,
that gives me an existential crisis, just like it gives
that.
you one. I don't think I can answer the question, but what I can say is definitely not Trump.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up your time with your group, but I appreciate you letting me enter because I still watch you, and I don't know if you're friends with Harry or something like Harry, but I still listen to you both. I want to hear all sides. I don't know the answers, but as an American person, I don't like anything that's happening from any party.
Hey, I will say, you said that you're like 51, 52?
57.
57. Hey, thank you for being the very first 57-year-old on my live ever who actually acted their age. And I mean that. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I hope you have me back again. I just don't want to take up too much of your time. I will pay more attention and have more clarifying questions in the future. And who's the other person in the live?
Oh, that's Parker.
Parker?
What's up?
Hey, Parker. Thank you for challenging me.
Appreciate you.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Of course. Yeah, no, I like that. You know, first guy to act, older gentleman to act his age. You don't see that often on these lives. You know, like that's a way to go about challenging your beliefs as it relates to politics. It's a good methodology. You know who we have in the queue?
Who?
He's been in the queue for a minute. I want to bring him up. It's honestly been a while.
W.
Dr. Blitz. What's going on?
How's it going?
What's going on, man? It's going pretty well. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah, I've been feeling down politically, so I've been getting back into the political lives. Have you guys talked about the scientific implications of the big beautiful bill?
Do you want to tell us about them?
Oh, they're so bad.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's so bad. So, look, so we all know that the BBB is terrible. However, if you go look at NASA's budget for in the BBB, NASA gets it's like a $28 billion or $24 billion a year. That's roughly what it was for the last few years. Fine. The space exploration part of the BBB is about the same as it was last year. Totally expected. They want to go to Mars. They want to go to the moon. Fine. But if you look at the scientific budget in this part of NASA's budget, they cut it by half. They're cutting the scientific budget by half. And the trouble with the big beautiful bill, the trouble with the scientific budget in particular, is that they're taking existing space telescopes like the Chandra X-ray Observatory, the New Horizons probe, which is the thing that got us a photo of Pluto, the Fermi Gamma Ray telescope. They're just shutting these things down, even though they're already in space. They're already operational. They've been providing great science. They're top-of-the-line telescopes, top-of-the-line probes. They're just canceling them, so we just can't use them. It's so wasteful. And I mean, like, the National Science Foundation is also having its budget slashed in half, shutting down working observatories. I mean, it's just really, really bad. So much so that France has started accepting American scientists. They have a scientific refugee visa that's going into place in France, just because of how bad this is. And people are we're talking tens of thousands of scientists losing their jobs. It's real bad.
You know, honestly, that might be worth talking about more, because when's another time in history we've seen a country either defund or fire a shit ton of scientists, and what was its impact on that country? I mean, I remember like the Soviet Union and Stalin firing state scientists. Then next thing we knew, they had a famine that they didn't know how to deal with that killed millions of people.
Oh,
yeah, I was also just going to say, like, it's such a small portion of the budget. Why are they specifically cutting this? If they're trying to get money to pay for other programs, why would they cut this in particular? It's not like it's a huge revenue mechanism.
That's exactly the issue. I mean, the Chandra X-ray Observatory, the one that I care about the most, because I mean, I should be very, very specific here. There are other telescopes. The Chandra X-ray Observatory is the only X-ray observatory that has the resolution that exists.
Really?
It's 25 years old. It's the best telescope that exists. It costs $20 million a year to run. That's a drop in the bucket. That's a fifth of an F-35, right? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So the reason they're cutting it is because, I mean, clearly it's not something that they prioritize, and people aren't going to challenge it because people don't know about it, which is why I'm talking about it. I've been talking about it more on live lately.
Thank you for coming up on the live and saying that, because like that's some really important information, because realistically, like that's anti-intellectual, right? If you look at like the 14 points of fascism, I'm not trying to make a political message out of this any more than we are, but if you look at them, right, one of them is the fact that you are going after the intellectuals and the arts, right? This is an exact attack at the intellectuals, right? If they're cutting science, right? Literally, it's not a revenue mechanism. That is a direct attack, not specifically in terms of revenue. That's an attack at the sciences and the intellectuals. That's what it is. And we should not look past things like this, because this is seriously a huge threat to our system.
I mean, so it's tragic because I follow a lot of academic people on TikTok. There are a lot of people who are grad students in the hard sciences. These are people who are looking for postdocs in the hard sciences, even faculty in the hard sciences that are just having their grants just revoked just because, the NSF or the NIH, not the NIH, or the DOE or the DOD, these places used to give scientific grants for basic research, and they're basically awarding half as many now. It's tragic because you just have people who would have done great science in the US, they're going somewhere else because they can find a job there. Now, the only thing I'll say before I leave is, Dean, the right analogy is not the Soviet Union. The right analogy is 1930s Germany. Einstein fled. Basically, the entirety of the physics community and the mathematics community in Germany, they all left. That should really worry people here.
Yeah. Dr. Blitz, it'd be really cool to see you get into some politics live about, about what you're good with science, and physics, and so on. I mean, I think that, it'd be very meaningful. I know that I'd tune in. I remember tuning into, like your free question Fridays or whatever they were called, when you would just allow anybody random to ask any question about physics. I remember asking you a bunch of good ones. You have a really good way to go about explaining these things that I think a lot of people would be willing to tune in to. But I do really appreciate you for joining the live tonight, man. Been a minute, and thank you so much for bringing up these really good points.
Did I kill myself at all, or no?
What's that?
Well, I do these once a week. I do political stuff in the morning, so it doesn't overlap with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll have to check out the next one.
Check it out.
I'll have to check out the next one. Have a good rest of your day, Blitz.
Have fun.
Bye. All right. For everybody else watching, I think that will likely be our last conversation of the night. We're coming in here in 4 hours, and honestly, I'm exhausted. But before you guys head out, I actually want to have you guys do some action. Okay, it's about what we talked about earlier, related to the crazy evil couple and everything that's going on Twitter right now. I'm going to ask you guys that use Twitter to please go on Twitter and just echo facts of what happened, what is happening, and what's going on. There's not enough facts on Twitter right now. I know, crazy, right? But we just see like this overdraw of completely false conclusions that are like incredibly defamatory. I see a lot of people saying that, I'm a P3DO. I think that children can consent to sex. And I mean, these tweets will have thousands of likes. And I mean, this has now caused pictures of my old house to get posted. People are saying I'm a real piece of shit. I deserve to die. I woke up to a couple hundred death threats, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The facts of the matter are as follows. Okay. There was an incredibly evil man with an incredibly evil wife, by the way, that I've now talked to on 3 separate occasions in the last 30 hours. They say that parents have the legal right to consent for their children to be viewed by older people. And the husband, quote unquote, said, and I quote, and I quote here, at the end of the day, he wasn't breaking the law, so I can't fault him for that. They said that Trump viewing the naked bodies of 13-year-olds was a business transaction that benefited both parties. And somebody else in that live said that CP was art. And that's just a handful of things. So crazy. And then the result of this is to take one like out of context clip of the dad saying something that could be falsely misinterpreted. The meaning going, "Oh, we need to call CPS on you." Once again, I agree. I definitely agree that was not the proper response. Was to call for the viewers of the live to find public information and take the private local CPS authorities. Drop the ball. That shouldn't have been my response. That shouldn't have been my response at all. Okay? But those 2 people, nonetheless, were still incredibly evil. I mean, it's documented literally on this live. The wife was the very first guest we had up. So feel free to go back and listen to her say that she thinks that Donald Trump looking at a naked 13-year-old was a business transaction. You will hear it on this live stream on YouTube. And I'm just simply asking you guys to echo the facts. Because right now, due to the lack of facts on the platform, it is sick. It is sick what people are saying to me. It is sick what people are saying about me. It is completely sick. And that's what I'll leave you guys with for today. Apart from that, it was a pretty good stream today. I feel like we actually had some good debates. We've been on for 4 hours, and it just kind of breezed by because of how good the combos were today. As well as Annie, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat, saying MAGA will do anything not to talk about their failed president. The news cycle will move on, I promise. Yeah, well, we got another 24 through 48 hours. Appreciate you for the love, Annie. But yeah, I'm going to go get rest. And also, I'm going to buy some flowers for my girlfriend. Before I got on the stream today, I was so stressed out from all of this that I probably wasn't the kindest I should have been. That's not saying I was an asshole. Just I could have been kinder to her. So I'm gonna go buy her some flowers for her to have by the time she gets home. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. But Parker, if you want to go live, I'll send you a raid.
Absolutely, I will, man. As always, man, make sure to check my text, bro. I appreciate you. Have a good night, bro. Seriously, have a good time.
Cool. Take care. You have some good debates. For everybody watching, if you want to continue to listen to some debates, head over to @ParkerGetAJob on TikTok or on YouTube. Go show him some love. Go do a raid. He's going to be doing debates for the rest of the evening. And now I'm going to go eat some dinner.